Chapter 10 Escaping the Snake. Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? The Sandaime said in amazement. Easy Gigi, I'm just a clone, Naruto said. We've got a problem. One of the genin, a Yakushi Kabuto, knows a lot more than he should. What do you mean? Hiruzen said. Well, for one, he knows about my B-rank mission, Naruto said. The Hokage's eyes widened. He also knows of my elemental affinities and the details of Team 7's mission to the wave. You think that this Kabuto is a spy, or a traitor, like Mizuki? I'm leaning more towards spy, since he has all that classified information. Also, he smelled weird, like snakes or some other reptiles, Naruto said. Snakes? The Hokage said. Yes, snakes. Any idea why? The only person I've heard of using snakes was Orochimaru, Naruto said. This could be either very good or very bad, the Hokage said. Naruto, what I'm about to tell you is an S-class secret. Oh joy, another one, Naruto grumbled. But seeing the look in the Hokage's eyes, Naruto added quickly, sorry Hokage-sama. We have received reports that Orochimaru has founded a new village, the sound, Hiruzen said. It's possible that he is planning something regarding the Chunin exams. I wonder if Kabuto is a spy then. His Nin info cards seem too detailed to have just gotten information off our ninja registration, Naruto said. Also, he said that he failed the Chunin exam 7 times, that strikes me as odd. Quite so, Naruto-kun, please be careful during the second exam, the Hokage said. I would like to see you do well. Oh, don't worry, old man, we'll do fine, believe it. The clone dispelled, leaving the office empty save the Hokage. So Orochimaru could be planning something, but what does that Kabuto guy have to do with it? Naruto muttered to himself as he watched the stars from his perch. And that Kusanin who snuck up on me and the proctor really smelled like snakes, reeked of them. What's that about? Naruto. Sasuke's voice broke through his thoughts. Naruto turned to see Sasuke standing above him. What's up? The blonde asked. My turn for watch, go head in and get some sleep, Sasuke said, jerking his thumb over his shoulder to the cave. Naruto nodded. My clones are still out there so nothing's come by, Naruto said. If any dispel, that should be enough to wake me up. Sasuke shrugged. Naruto clapped the Uchiha on the shoulder and leaped down to the cave mouth. He walked in and unsealed his sleeping bag and climbed in. Just before he closed his eyes, Naruto looked over and saw Sakura asleep in her own sleeping bag. She looked so beautiful, Naruto thought as he rolled onto his side and fell asleep. Sunlight streamed through the canopy of the forest of death. It was day 2 of the second phase of the Chunin exams, and Team 7 was getting ready to move from their campsite. Sasuke and Naruto had let Sakura sleep the entire night. But when she awoke, Sakura laid into the boys for not letting her do her share of the watch. Relax, Sakura-chan, we just wanted to make sure that you were at 100% for today. You're the one who keeps me and the team from doing something stupid. Sakura blushed. That didn't stop you from acting like an idiot yesterday against that Iwa team. You could have been seriously hurt. And if you had been, where would that have left Sasuke and me? You really need to be more careful, Sakura said. Gomen, Sakura-chan, it was just something I needed to do, Naruto said. I wanted to see how strong I am. Sasuke knows what I mean. The Uchiha grunted. Boys, Sakura sighed. Let's just get to the tower, I want to get this test over with. Right then, Sakura Taishu, Naruto said cheekily. Naruto, Sakura growled. Naruto grinned and leapt out of Sakura's reach. Come on you two, let's go, Sasuke said. The other two felt their cheeks burn slightly, but they followed the Uchiha into the forest. They had been going slowly as to avoid any unwanted attraction, though Naruto felt that someone or something was watching them. They were less than 2 kilometers from the tower when Naruto felt a great chakra spike. Take cover, Naruto roared as a great gust of wind shot through the clearing. Arg! Naruto cried as he was thrown through the trees away from Sasuke and Sakura. Shit! That was no genin-level attack, Naruto groaned as he got to his feet, battered, bruised and bleeding slightly. There was no way in hell a genin could have produced such a strong attack. This is bad. A loud hissing sound came from above Naruto. He looked up and saw a gigantic snake, coiled around a tree above him, looking down at him. Oh, this is not good, Naruto muttered. The snake flicked its tongue at Naruto and reared back. With blinding speed, it struck, nearly swallowing Naruto whole. While the snake missed with its first strike, it followed up with a tail sway that sent Naruto flying into a trunk at nearly 20 miles per hour. Naruto cried out as he felt at least 2 ribs crack from the blow. Damn it, I don't have time for this, he growled, gingerly getting to his feet. The snake looked down at Naruto, eyeing him up like a piece of meat, and Naruto didn't like it. Damn snake, you're going down, you're not keeping me from my team, he growled. Kage Bunshin. 20 clones appeared around the snake's head. The snake seemed to blink, then smile at the appearance of so many more treats. It hissed almost happily and shot forward, and in the blink of an eye, it managed to swallow 2 clones. Naruto smirked and said 2 words. Bottoms up. The clones inside the snake exploded with the force of a dozen exploding tags each. The snake's whole upped body expanded like a balloon, and burst with a sickening splat. Nasty, Naruto commented as he surveyed the damage. Suddenly there was another explosion, this one of smoke, and the shredded snake vanished. What the? That was just a summon? Naruto said. The only person who can use snake summons is Oh shit. I've got to find Sasuke and Sakura-chan. Naruto leapt off into the forest, releasing his seals and pouring chakra into his legs to go faster. About a kilometer away, Sakura and Sasuke were in a fight for their lives. The female Kusanine, who had snuck up on Naruto and the crazy proctor before the exam, had found them and was toying with them. Ah yes, the marvelous Sharingan, the Kusanine hissed, causing Sakura and Sasuke to shiver. To have awakened the Sharingan so young, truly an accomplishment. However, wasn't it true that your brother, Itachi, had a fully mature Sharingan at your age? Quite disappointing, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke roared in anger and charged at the ninja, who deftly dodged every blow easily, bending almost as if she had no spine. Such anger in those eyes, Sasuke-kun. Yes, use that anger, it gives you power and strength, the woman said. But will it be enough to kill your brother? Katon Ryujin Kin Hushaki. Dragon God Flamethrower. A stream of white-hot flames shot out of Sasuke's mouth. The Kusanin's eyes widened as the flames engulfed her. Sasuke smirked, while Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. Well done, Sasuke-kun, to be able to produce such intense flames and wield them so well at such a young age, a sinister voice hissed. Sasuke and Sakura watched in horror as the Kusanine walked serenely out of the flames, untouched except that half of the woman's face seemed to have been melted off. What are you? Sakura whimpered. A good question, little girl, the woman said. And I shall answer it in due time, but first. Sakura and Sasuke froze as they caught eyes with the woman, an eye that was a pale, sickly yellow with a silted pupil like a snake's. An immense pressure settled onto the 2 genin, neither could move nor even breathe. Images flashed in front of their eyes, scenes of death. Their deaths. This is insane, I can't move. That time in the wave with Zabuza was nothing compared to this, Sasuke thought. We need to move, I need to move. Come on body, damn it, move. Well, looks like we've got a fighter, the Kusanine said. Good, it's no fun if the prey is weak. Sasuke managed to force himself to stab himself in the thigh with a kunai and grab Sakura before a pair of kunai that had been thrown at them slid between their eyes. Sasuke was breathing heavily as he laid Sakura down against a tree. She was still in shock at the ki that the ninja had levied at them. Sakura, snap out of it, Sasuke said, roughly shaking Sakura alert. Life came back to Sakura's eyes. She looked around wildly, her eyes still full of fear. Sasuke, what's going on? Where's that Kusa ninja? How'd we get away? Sakura asked in rapid succession. Sakura, calm down. We got away, we're safe, Sasuke said. Oh, I'm not so sure about that, a sickeningly familiar voice hissed from behind Sasuke. The two genin spun around in horror as the Kusa ninja appeared out of the shadows, like a ghost. Who are you? Why are you coming after us? Sakura cried. Who am I isn't important, but what is important is what I can give you, Sasuke-kun, the woman said. What could you give me that I could possibly want? Sasuke barked. Power, the ninja hissed. Unlimited power, the power to kill your brother and avenge your clan. What do you mean? Sasuke said. The ninja smiled, a cruel, calculating smile. What the hell, Sasuke? A new voice roared from above them. It was Naruto. Naruto! Sakura cried in relief. Where have you been, Dobe? Sasuke cried. I was taking care of this guy's not-so-little friend, Naruto answered, glaring down at the Kusanine with rage. Dobe, that's a woman, you moron, Sasuke scoffed. That's no woman, Sasuke, am I right, Orochimaru? Naruto growled. Sasuke and Sakura froze hearing Naruto say the name of one of Konoha's most notorious noob-nines. You truly are Konoha's most surprising ninja, aren't you, Naruto-kun? The now named Orochimaru cackled. What the hell are you doing here, you Hibi team? Naruto growled. I'm here to give Sasuke-kun an offer, the offer of power to take his revenge on Itachi. Naruto looked sharply at Sasuke, who was looking at Orochimaru with veiled interest. Sasuke, if you think that he'd give you power for free, you're as delusional as your brother was. Sasuke glared at Naruto. I don't care. I need power to kill my brother, and I will do whatever I need to do to achieve this. Orochimaru smiled and his hands flew through some hand signs, his neck elongated and shot towards Sasuke, mouth open. Before either Naruto or Sakura could move, Orochimaru sank his fangs into Sasuke's neck. The boy screamed out in pain. What the hell did you do? Naruto roared, as Orochimaru's neck returned to its normal length. Sasuke collapsed in a heap, unconscious. I gave Sasuke-kun a gift that will grant him unimaginable power. He will seek me out in order to gain more, Orochimaru said. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the man. Then I'll give you a parting gift myself, you bastard, Naruto cried. He leapt off the branch and sped toward Orochimaru at speeds that Sakura couldn't follow. Orochimaru sneered at the blonde. You're years away from even thinking that you can harm me, boy, Orochimaru said. A swirling blue ball of chakra appeared in Naruto's hand as he appeared in front of Orochimaru. The snake Sanin's eyes widened as he saw the attack. Rasengan! Naruto roared as he slammed the ball of chakra into Orochimaru's stomach. The ball expanded and with a scream, Orochimaru was sent spinning like a corkscrew into the forest. Sakura, we need to go, Naruto said, as he reappeared at her side. We need to get to the tower as soon as possible. That attack didn't stop Orochimaru, something didn't feel right when I hit him. What was that jutsu, Naruto? Where did you learn that? Sakura asked. No time, we need to go now. Naruto ordered. He threw Sasuke over his shoulder and turned to Sakura. Come on, Sakura, now. I'll explain everything when we get somewhere safe. Sakura wanted to argue with Naruto but also knew that he was right. She nodded. Fine, but you have to answer me when we get to the tower. Deal. The two conscious members of Team 7 leapt off, Sasuke thrown over Naruto's shoulder. They didn't see a pair of yellow eyes gleaming in the shadows. Interesting, the Kyuubi brat has some talent as well. To be able to master such a jutsu at such a young age, I'll have to keep an eye on him, though now with Sasuke-kun, it will not matter, Orochimaru hissed before sinking back into the shadows. Naruto and Sakura, with Sasuke over Naruto's shoulder, made it to the tower in short order. When they entered, they found an empty hall with a poem with 2 blanks in it. What are we supposed to do now? Naruto asked. Maybe we should open those scrolls that we collected? The proctor didn't say we couldn't open them in the tower, only in the forest, Sakura suggested. I don't have a better idea, Naruto said. he dropped Sasuke on the floor. Sakura glared at Naruto but pulled out the heaven scroll that she had been carrying while Naruto retrieved the earth scroll from Sasuke's body. On 3, 1, 2, 3. The two opened the scrolls. Naruto noticed something written on the inside. Sakura, drop the scroll, he barked. She did, and they leapt back. There was an explosion of smoke. Naruto and Sakura tensed, their hands gripping a kunai each. Iruka-sensei! Naruto cried out as the smoke cleared. Hello there, Naruto, Sakura. What happened to Sasuke? Iruka asked sharply when he spotted Sasuke laying on the ground. He's just conscious, Iruka-sensei, Naruto said. But I need to speak with the Hokage as soon as possible. Naruto, you can't demand to speak with the Hokage like that, Iruka scolded. Sensei, I don't have time for this. Sasuke needs medical attention now and I have to speak with the Hokage now. Naruto barked, his voice commanding. Iruka stiffened. Fine, I'll get him, he said before vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Naruto, what the hell is going on? Sakura cried. Later, Sakura-chan, I promise once I talk with the Hokage, I will tell you everything, Naruto said. Just when Sakura was about to argue, there was a loud puff and Iruka returned with the Hokage, Kakashi and a pair of medics. What happened? The Hokage barked in what Naruto had dubbed his Hokage tone. It commanded complete and absolute obedience. He's here, Naruto said shortly. The Hokage's eyes widened. You mean? Yes sir, Orochimaru is here, we just got away from him after that Hibi team gave Sasuke a nasty hickey. He's been unconscious ever since. So he's after the Sharingan then, the Hokage said. I'd be careful with Sasuke, Orochimaru offered him power and Sasuke seemed pretty interested. Hibi-tem also said that the hickey was a gift or something. The Hokage's eyes narrowed. I see. Kakashi, I want you to find Jiraiya, you should know where he is. Tell him I need him now, I won't take any delay. Hi Hokage-sama, Kakashi said before he vanished in a swirl of leaves. Hiruzen then turned back to Naruto and Sakura. You two, I'll need a full account of what happened out there. Come, there is a conference room upstairs that we can use, the Hokage said. Naruto and Sakura nodded, though Sakura looked absolutely terrified at the prospect of being in the same room as the Hokage. Hey Gigi, has any other teams made it yet? Naruto asked. Sakura looked at Naruto like he was insane for calling the Hokage that. The Jonin that were walking with them nearly face-faulted at the exchange. There is one team, the Suna team, that beat your team. They managed to complete the exam in under 2 hours, the Hokage said. What? The two genin cried. Wow, they must have gotten lucky, Naruto said. To have found a scroll so quickly. Yeah, or they are really strong, Sakura said. That Gaara guy seems familiar somehow, I can't explain it but he gives me this weird feeling, Naruto said, looking at the Hokage, who nodded. So Gaara is like me, he's got a demon inside him too. I wonder which one. Judging from the circles under his eyes, and the fact that he's from Suna, it's plausible that that midget carries Shikaku, the one tail, a deep voice in Naruto's head. Kurama-san, that you? Naruto asked. Of course it's me Yubaka, who else do you know that's a giant talking fox and is inside your head, Kurama said. Naruto rolled his eyes and cut back to the outside world where the group had just reached the conference room. They were led inside and saw that the room wasn't empty. The proctor of the second exam was there as well, and she didn't look good. Hokage-sama, I don't wish to be rude but what's with the brats? Anko asked, pointing at Naruto and Sakura, who glared at her. Relax Anko-chan, I have brought Naruto-kun and Sakura-chan here because they fought the same man that you did this afternoon, the Hokage said. These two Gakis fought Orochimaru and lived. Anko cried. Yeah, and what of it? Naruto snapped, his anger getting the better of him. And why do you smell like snakes? It's faint but the smell is still there. The Hokage, Anko and Sakura looked at Naruto in a mix of confusion, awe and a bit of fear. You can smell snakes on me? Anko asked, her voice soft. Yeah, there are two different scents. One far older and darker, while the newer one isn't as much, Naruto said. Why do you smell like that? It's because I used to be Orochimaru's apprentice, Anko said. Let me finish, she added quickly at the faces of the two genin. Back when he was a jonin of the leaf, he chose me to be his apprentice and taught me many things. I thought that he cared for me, but in the end, that bastard cast me aside like a piece of trash. All I was to him was an experiment and data. Oh, okay, Naruto said. Sorry for jumping down your throat like that. I guess the adrenaline hasn't left my system yet. It's fine, but if you two fought Orochimaru, how are you alive? Anko asked. Well, for starters, I didn't really fight him, Sakura admitted. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. Sasuke and Naruto saved me, while Naruto saved us both. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? The Hokage said. Sakura and Naruto nodded and began their tale. How they were separated by a great gust of wind. Naruto told them how he killed the snake summoned by blowing it up. When they asked how, he said he used an exploding tag, but Anko and Hiruzen could tell he was lying. Sakura picked up the tale from there. Her voice was quiet to begin with, but it gained strength as she talked about how Team 7 was separated, then how Orochimaru attacked Sasuke and her. How the Sannin played with Sasuke's mind, playing on his anger at Itachi. Sakura mentioned how Sasuke managed to land a Katon Jutsu on Orochimaru, but the man seemed to just shrug it off like a fly. Then Naruto showed up, Sakura said. Hiruzen and Anko turned to the blonde. Naruto took a deep breath. I showed up just as Sasuke was getting drawn in by the Hibi team and tried to snap him out of it, but Sasuke only cares about power, and he said as much. Then Orochimaru did some weird jutsu that elongated his neck, and then he gave Sasuke that hiki. Anko's eyes widened. That hiki is a cursed seal. The Uchiha brat will be lucky if he survives it. You speaking from experience, Mitarashi-san? Naruto asked. Anko's hand shot to her shoulder. Don't worry, I figured that you have one since Jiji had you here as well. What happened after Orochimaru gave Sasuke-kun that seal? The Hokage said. We escaped, Naruto said shortly. Hiruzen and Anko looked at Naruto, knowing that he wasn't telling the whole story. Naruto, what are you talking about? Sakura cried. Hokage-sama, Naruto is being modest. He beat Orochimaru in one shot. Sakura! Naruto snapped. No, Naruto, Sakura retorted. It was amazing. Naruto nailed that bastard with some jutsu called Rasen. Something, and it blew Orochimaru away. The Hokage and Anko looked at Naruto in amazement. Naruto-kun, you learned that jutsu? Hiruzen asked. Yes, Hokage-sama, I finally mastered it, Naruto said. And I did manage to hit Orochimaru with it, but that wasn't really Orochimaru. What do you mean? The Hokage asked. 1. I got lucky. That bastard wasn't suspecting me to attack him head-on, let alone with that jutsu, and 2nd, when I hit him with it, it didn't feel right. It felt like I was hitting one of my shadow clones. It's possible, the Hokage said. My wayward student always liked to hide in the shadows. It's likely that what you fought was only a clone. Naruto nodded while Sakura looked frightened. Naruto, what was that jutsu that you used? I've never heard of it, Sakura asked. Really, I'm surprised that the brightest kunoichi didn't recognize such a revered jutsu, but that was the jutsu that I started learning in the wave, Naruto said. Rasengan, right? It does sound familiar, Sakura said. But I can't remember where I heard of it. Sakura-chan, I would appreciate it if you don't tell anyone about me using that jutsu, Naruto said. I want to keep it a secret. Sakura frowned but nodded. She could see the idea of keeping such a powerful jutsu secret. All right, Naruto, I promise. Thanks, Sakura-chan, Naruto said brightly. The Sandaime grinned. All right, you two, I'm sure that you are both exhausted. Upstairs there are rooms in which you can relax and recuperate. You will have to remain in the tower until the exam is over, but congratulations nonetheless. Also, I want you both to know that what we've discussed here today is considered an S-class secret, so the Hokage trailed off, as the consequences of the situation settled on the two genin. Hi Hokage-sama, they chorused. And thanks Gigi, Naruto added. Baka, show the Hokage some respect, Sakura scolded. Hokage-sama, what about Sasuke? I will be checking on him shortly, and don't worry, Kakashi-kun will inform you when we know more. Hi Hokage-sama, the pink-haired girl said. The Hokage and Anko took their leave and the two genin made their way upstairs to their rooms, where both exhausted genin collapsed onto a bed each and fell asleep. So there's another Jinchuriki in the exams, Naruto said in his mindscape. I wonder why. I don't care, but be wary of Shikaku's host, that rodent is batshit insane. He's likely eaten away at his host's personality over the years, making it impossible for the host to get a good night's sleep. The host is probably just as insane as the rodent inside him, Kurama said. I didn't know you cared Kurama-san, Naruto snarked. I don't, the fox snapped. I just wouldn't be able to live down the grief if I were to lose to that stubby rodent. The other Biju wouldn't let me live it down when they heard. I have a reputation to uphold. Alright, then what do you know about Shikaku? Naruto asked. He's bloodthirsty and has a serious inferiority complex since he's the one tail and is the weakest of us all. And since he's the sand spirit, his host can probably manipulate sand very well, Kurama said. So avoid the sand at all costs, Naruto quipped. Hopefully, I won't have to fight him until at least the finals, that way I can get some more intel on him. The final 3 days of the second exam passed slowly for Team 7, both Naruto and Sakura were waiting on word on Sasuke. Naruto's opinion of the Uchiha had dropped to an all-time low after hearing his declaration of power is the only thing he cares about in the forest. Even Sakura seemed to have removed her Uchiha-colored glasses and seen that Sasuke wasn't the prince that the village made him out to be, though she still cared for him as a teammate. Naruto saw several teams stagger into the tower over the final 3 days of the exam, including Team 8 and 10 and the green spandex-wearing ninjas team. He also saw that Kabuto's team had made it as well, and a team from Oto, Mizu and the Iwa team that Team 7 had fought on the first day of the exam. Naruto and Sakura stayed in their room, enjoying the grace period that they had achieved. There came a knock at the door. Uzumaki-san, Harino-san, you are wanted down in the main hall for the preliminaries, a voice called through the door. Preliminaries? Sakura asked. No idea, I'm sure that Gigi will explain it all when we get down there, Naruto said. What about Sasuke? Do you think that he'll be there? Don't know. If he's awake, I'm sure that they'd have to drag him away in chains to keep him away, Naruto said. You're probably right, she said. Say Sakura-chan, I understand if you don't want to answer this, but I've noticed that you've stopped calling Sasuke, Sasuke-kun. Oh, Sakura said, a light blush adorning her cheeks. Well, I guess it's because my eyes have been opened. Sure, Sasuke is attractive and at the academy, I thought that I loved him, but ever since I joined Team 7 I've seen a side of Sasuke that I didn't, or didn't want to, see at the academy. He's cold, cruel and completely power-hungry. I understand that he wants to avenge his clan, but it seems that he'll go to any and all lengths to achieve this. Maybe we can help him? To be able to help someone, they must want help, Naruto said. I don't like Sasuke very much, he's arrogant, cold and an all-around bastard. But he's also a young man who has been through a lot, too much for someone his age, and has had no one to rely on. What about you then, Naruto? From what you said in the wave, you've had it harder than Sasuke, but you're not. Sakura said. A conceited bastard? Naruto suggested. I was going to say normal, but your phrase works too, Sakura said. Naruto chuckled warmly. I've had people looking out for me, unlike Sasuke, and those people treated me normally, not like a crown prince of some soap opera. Having very few people in my life made me appreciate everything that I have now. Sasuke had the village hanging on his every whim, which made him believe that he deserved anything and everything. Sakura nodded. They reached the main hall where the other teams that made it through the forest of death. Looks like the team woke up in time, Naruto said, spotting Sasuke in the group, Kakashi standing beside him. Naruto and Sakura walked over and stood next to their teammate and sensei. "Hi Sasuke, how are you feeling?" Sakura asked. All she got in return was a grunt, which they took as an "I'm fine." "Kakashi-sensei, what's with these preliminaries?" Naruto asked. "Well, too many teams passed the second exam, so we have to have preliminary tournament to lower the numbers," Kakashi explained. "What?" Naruto cried. "We have to fight after going through all that forest and stuff." "'Fraid so," Kakashi said. Naruto and Sakura groaned. "Deal with it, losers, at least now I can show how strong the Uchiha elite are," Sasuke sneered. Naruto growled at the Uchiha heir, but before he could say anything, the Hokage stepped forward to explain the rules. He was interrupted by a sickly-looking jonin, named Gecko Hayate. After finishing his explanation, Hayate asked if there were any dropouts, and Yakushi Kabuto did so. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the silver-haired genin as he walked out. He also noticed a sound jonin watching Kabuto leave the hall as well. "If that's everyone, please direct your attention to the screen, where 2 names will appear. Those 2 will remain here while the rest of you will proceed up to the viewing platforms." A chime signaled that the board had chosen the first 2 combatants. Uchiha Sasuke vs. Yoroi Okado. Chapter 11. The preliminaries have started. Naruto followed Sakura up to the viewing platforms along with everyone else. When everyone was settled, Hayate asked if the 2 combatants were ready and then signaled the bout to begin. "Let's see if the Uchiha brat is all talk or not, because you don't look like much," Okado sneered. Sasuke snarled as he activated his Sharingan and rushed forward. "Moron," Naruto muttered. "Charging in like that, he's going to get hurt. He doesn't know his opponent's jutsu or abilities." "This coming from you, Naruto," Sakura said with a grin. Naruto laughed. "Touché, I shouldn't be criticizing, but that's me. Sasuke's smarter than that." Sakura nodded and turned back to the fight where the 2 fighters were trading blows. "This should be interesting, Sasuke's going up against a grappler," Kakashi commented. "Grappler?" Naruto asked. "It's a taijutsu style that the user performs to latch onto their opponent. It's a very close-up style, and Sasuke likes to use his speed for hit-and-run tactics. He doesn't have the sheer strength to break out of a grappler's hold." "There's something wrong with Sasuke," Sakura said. "He shouldn't be so tired so quickly." Naruto looked down at the fight and frowned. Sakura was right, Sasuke was breathing heavily and sweating while his opponent looked stronger than ever. "That Hiki-Hibi team of Sasuke can't be affecting him, right sensei?" Naruto asked. "No, it's not that. Jiraiya-sama placed his highest-level containment seal on it. There's something about Sasuke's opponent, he doesn't punch or kick Sasuke when he grabs him," Kakashi answered. "Could he be stealing Sasuke's chakra?" Sakura asked. "I remember reading that the Aburame clan has the ability to drain their opponent's chakra using their bugs." "That's true, and it could be something similar since that genin's hands glow whenever he grabs Sasuke," Kakashi said. "Well, the team better wise up and finish this soon or he's going to lose," Naruto said loudly. Sasuke heard Naruto and growled. "Dobe, I'm an Uchiha, we don't lose," he muttered. "Well, you're about to," Okado said with a smug grin. He dashed forward, hands glowing blue. "I can't let him drain any more of my chakra or I'm done for," Sasuke thought. He leapt backward and flashed through several hand signs. Katon Gokakyu no Jutsu. A mid-sized fireball shot out of Sasuke's mouth and sped toward Okado. The older genin leapt away easily from the explosion. "You're going to have to try harder than that, baby Uchiha," Okado goaded. With a primal scream of rage, Sasuke rocketed forward. "Idiot, being goaded like that," Naruto muttered. "His opponent wants him to get up close." "Sasuke isn't thinking at all." Sakura nodded. "He should use his ninjutsu and wait this guy out," she said. Give Sasuke a little credit you too, he is the Rookie of the Year, Kakashi said. And that means what in the real world, Naruto said. Just because he was the Rookie of the Year doesn't mean anything to anyone outside the village. Even most of the ninja around the village know that Sasuke isn't all that strong. Hell, a ninja who only uses taijutsu wiped the floor with the great Uchiha before the first exam. That's it. Sasuke realized. That spandex-wearing freak should be honored that I'm using his jutsu to beat this weakling. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he saw Sasuke take a familiar stance. He didn't, Naruto thought. He glanced at Lee and Gai-sensei, the Jonin looked grim. A cry of pain brought Naruto back to the fight. Akado was flying through the air with Sasuke mirroring the older genin's movements. In a flurry of kicks, it was over. Akado was lying on the ground unmoving and blood trickling from his mouth. Winner Uchiha Sasuke, Gekko announced. A cry of Sasuke-kun came from Ino but not Sakura, to many people's astonishment. Even Ino was stunned at Sakura's non-outburst. He wouldn't have won that fight if he hadn't stolen that move from Lee, Naruto grumbled as he watched Sasuke walk up the stairs, acting as if he had accomplished something. Maybe, but you can't be sure of that, Naruto, Kakashi said. Whatever sensei, Sasuke's going to be feeling the strain of using that move come tomorrow. He's lucky that he didn't seriously injure himself, Naruto said. Lee has trained his ass off to be able to master that move. And Sasuke steals it just so he can win. What did you say, Dobe? Sasuke snarled from behind Naruto. You heard me, team, you got lucky, Naruto said. You stole that move from Lee, who put his heart and soul into mastering it, and because you don't know the move, you were lucky enough to not sustain any injuries from using it, since your body isn't accustomed to it. Sasuke just rolled his eyes. Whatever, Dobe, I would have won no matter what. I'm an Uchiha and we don't lose, he scoffed. Naruto just shook his head. Would Aburame Shino and Abumi Zaku please come down here? Gekko called. Good luck, Shino, Naruto called as the hooded Aburame walked down to the floor. Shino only responded with a nod. Damn, I was hoping to fight the Uchiha but you'll have to do, Zaku sneered. It would be unwise to underestimate your opponent, Shino answered. Whatever, you weak leaf freak, Zaku shouted. I won't even break a sweat with you. Are the fighters ready? Gekko asked. Getting two nods, he cried, Hajime. The two genin leapt into action, Zaku stuck out his arms and cried, Zenkaha. Twin waves of air shot from Zaku's hands, cutting deep gouges in the floor as they sped toward Shino. At the last minute, Shino dispersed into a cloud of bugs, which scattered as the waves hit. Hijitsu Konshu Bunshin, Shino said, his voice coming from behind Zaku. The sound genin spun around but found no one there. Where are you? Zaku cried. Here, Shino's voice filled the hall, coming from every direction. Zaku spun around, looking for Shino but couldn't find him. What the hell? Zaku cried as he saw bugs crawling all over him. What are these things? They are my Kakachu, they have been draining you ever since the proctor said begin. I had them ready to go from when our names were drawn, a ninja must find any advantage he can. The viewers saw Zaku begin breathing heavily as the chakra drain began to take its toll. You won't beat me that easily, Zaku cried as he charged up his jutsu. Too late, Shino said dispassionately as his bugs feasted on Zaku's chakra. Senku Kyakua. Zaku managed to sputter out before falling flat on his face. Winner Aburame Shino, Gekko said as a team of medics took Zaku away. Shino made his way back up to the viewing platforms where his teammates, Kiba and Hinata, congratulated him. The next 3 matches saw 2 members of the Mizu team face off against 2 Aniki and Katsumi from the Iwa team, and the Iwa crushed Mizu in both matches. The third match pitted Kankuro against the final member of Kabuto's team. Kankuro fooled the older Leaf Genin into thinking that he had won by strangulation, but the body that the boy was holding was actually a puppet. The real Kankuro had been hiding in the bandages attached to the puppet's back waiting for a chance to turn the tides. The Tsunagenin's counterattack was short and viscous. Gecko had to call for a body bag instead of a stretcher. Once the floor was clear, the board beeped once more and Naruto heard Sakura gasp from beside him. "Would Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino please come down here?" Gecko called out. Naruto looked at his pink-haired teammate. "Relax, Sakura-chan, you'll do fine," he said. "You're a lot stronger than her and now it's time for you to show her. Show Ino what it means to be a kunoichi of the leaf." Sakura gave Naruto a grateful smile. "Thank you, Naruto," she said. "Haruno Sakura, are you coming down?" Gecko called. "Yeah, forehead, or are you too scared that I'll show Sasuke-kun that I'm his true love?" Ino chided. Sakura's eye twitched. "You know what, Ino pig, you can have the bastard," she cried, leaping down from the platform. "Sasuke isn't worth dying over because I was too worried about my looks to train, or losing a friendship that I had with someone I thought of as a sister." All around the room, jaws dropped at Sakura's proclamation. "She's finally grown up," Kakashi thought, smiling down at his student. Ino's jaw dropped the farthest though. "Oh come on, forehead, do you really think that I'd fall for that?" Ino scoffed. "You're just saying that to get inside my head." "Well, it won't work, I will not let you get Sasuke-kun." Most of the audience face-palmed at Ino's declaration. Sasuke shivered. "I will never go for that girl, besides I need to kill my brother, that's all I care about. Why would I need anything else?" Naruto laughed. "Oh, Ino is going to get wrecked," he thought. Sakura just rolled her eyes and leapt down across from Ino. "Now that both participants are ready, begin!" Gecko cried. Ino quickly drew a kunai and raced forward. Sakura sighed and drew her own kunai. The two weapons came together with a clang. Ino, using her momentum, began to push Sakura back. "You know you can't win, forehead. Once this is over everyone will know how weak you are and Sasuke-kun will come running," Ino said. "You had your chance to snag Sasuke-kun but you blew it." "Are you done?" came Sakura's bored reply. Ino's eyes widened as she found herself unable to move forward. "You can try and play your little mind games all you want but they won't work. Like I said, I'm done chasing Sasuke. Maybe if he takes that massive stick out of his ass and thaws himself out of that block of ice he calls his emotions, I'd try and go after him again. But right now, I don't care. I just want to concentrate on my training and prove that someone not from a ninja clan can become a great ninja." Sakura pushed back, sending Ino stumbling backward. The pink-haired looked at her former best friend with something akin to pity. "You know, Ino, I feel sorry for you," Sakura said. "You come from a large ninja clan that has these special techniques but all you care about is how you look and what not. I wasn't much better in the academy. It wasn't until my mission to the wave where I learned that a ninja's life isn't glamorous and flashy. There's no white prince that will come rescue you like a damsel in distress. From this day forth, I choose to be the best kunoichi that I can be." With that she raised her kunai and slashed off most of her hair, leaving it only to reach her shoulders. Ino and everyone else except Naruto looked stunned. Where had the Banshee fangirl from the academy gone, being replaced by this serious, confident kunoichi? Sakura tossed aside the remnants of her long hair and looked across at Ino. "So shall we start round 2? She asked her blonde opponent. "I won't lose to you, Sakura," Ino said forcefully, but everyone could hear the tremor in her voice. "Then let's begin," Sakura said before dashing forward and slashing at Ino with her kunai. Ino made to block but the strike was too strong, and her kunai was sent clattering away. Sakura holstered her own weapon. "You know, Naruto always said that getting your hands dirty was the best way to blow off steam, so let's settle this rivalry using just our fists. How does that sound, Ino pig?" Ino glared at Sakura. "Don't you dare look down at me, or underestimate me," the blonde girl cried before launching herself at Sakura. Surprisingly, Ino was adequate at taijutsu and was able to land some blows on Sakura but none were strong enough to do any real damage and Ino knew this. While Sakura had been steadily improving her taijutsu with the help of Kakashi and Naruto in the 2 months or so that Team 7 had been together. Sakura knew that she would never be as strong as Naruto or Sasuke, physically, so she focused on precise, speedy hits aimed at points on the body where it would hurt the most, namely the kidneys, neck and joints. She was particularly proficient at it, but 2 months of near-constant work had allowed Sakura to progress nicely. And Ino learned this the hard way as she leapt back from their latest exchange of blows, wheezing and wincing heavily as pain throbbed in her sides and arms. "You won't beat me, forehead," Ino cried. She made several hand signs and called out, "Shinhenshin no Jutsu." A bright flash of light filled the room. "It's over," Shikamaru said. Sakura might have Ino beat physically, but now that Ino has used that jutsu, Sakura won't be able to break out of it. "We'll see, Shika, don't underestimate Sakura-chan," Naruto said. Inside Sakura's head, Ino found herself stunned. She thought that using her family's jutsu would mean an easy win. No one could fight off this jutsu. "What the hell are you trying to do, Ino pig?" a voice boomed out. "What the?" Ino cried, looking around wildly. But all she saw was darkness. Her father had told her that inside the human mind was like an immense passageway filled with doors. "What's going on here? I should be in total control." "Ha," the voice scoffed. "You're too weak to try and control my mind. Maybe if you'd train, you could give me some problems, but someone with a strong enough will and chakra can overpower your jutsu." Ino's eyes widened as she felt her chakra seep away. "Now get out of my head," the voice roared. Ino vanished in a flash of light, and out of the darkness came Inner Sakura. "Now then, aren't you glad I'm here?" she said out loud. Ino was thrown back to her body. Everybody was stunned as both girls' bodies shuddered. "What the hell are you?" Ino asked, looking at Sakura. "I'm complicated," Sakura said, breathing heavily. Expelling Ino had taken a lot out of Sakura, but Ino looked just as worn out. "Enough of this, last exchange, we're both worn out." "Fine," Ino growled. Both dashed forward and... Fuck! The spectators watched as Ino and Sakura's fists caught the other's cheek and snapped their heads back, sending them both skidding several feet backward. The two girls looked at one another for a moment, then Ino's eyes rolled up into her head and she collapsed. "Winner Haruno Sakura," Gecko said. Just then Sakura fell to her butt in exhaustion. "All right, Sakura-chan, way to go," Naruto shouted from the balcony. Sakura snorted in amusement at the antics of her teammate but was gracious for the acknowledgement. Once the medics had cleared the arena, taking Ino to the infirmary and giving Sakura a soldier pill to help her recover some chakra, Gecko called the next two fighters down. It was Tenten and Temari. "Well done, Sakura-chan," Naruto said while Tenten and Temari got set. "But how come you didn't use any jutsu? You would have won a lot sooner and easier." "I couldn't use any Suiten jutsu because I don't have water to draw upon and I'm not strong enough to change the stone floor into earth to use," she replied. "Oh," came Naruto's intelligent reply. "And I felt that I could beat Ino without them," Sakura said. Naruto nodded and they turned back to the match, which was another rout as Temari used several strong futon jutsus to knock aside Tenten's weapons and send the Konoha Genin flying across the room. "Pathetic," Temari sneered after being declared the winner. "Tough break for Tenten, having to face a wind user in her match," Naruto commented. "She needs to broaden her skills, not focus on just using weapons at long range." "Indeed," Guy said. "I believe that this will Tenten-san that she still needs to improve." The board beeped once more. "Say Shikamaru looks like you're up," Naruto said, slapping the lazy Nara on the shoulder. "Looks like you're up against that girl from the sound." "I have to fight a girl, troublesome," Shikamaru muttered. "Shikamaru, be careful. There's something about these sound ninja that puts me off," Naruto whispered. The dark-haired boy nodded. The match was pretty boring, atypical for Shikamaru. There was a lot of bantering, mainly by the girl, while she threw Sinbon at Shikamaru, who dodged easily. In the end, the dark-haired boy won by tricking the girl into playing chicken with some shuriken and then using his family's shadow jutsu to knock the girl out. Naruto laughed as Shikamaru stumbled up the stairs, as if asleep on his feet, for all Naruto knew. Shikamaru had managed to achieve that state of laziness. The next match was between Inuzuka Kiba and Akimichi Choji, the heirs to two of Konoha's top taijutsu-using clans beside the Hyuga. This should be an interesting match. Kiba has the edge in speed but Choji is probably the strongest, physically, genin of our graduating class, Naruto said. Kiba pressed the attack as soon as Gekko called go. He dropped into his family's taijutsu stance and dashed forward on all fours. Choji made some hand signs and his arms expanded suddenly. Choji raised his arms and brought them down like twin hammers but Kiba was too quick. He spun around the attack and kicked Choji in the chest. The stout brown-haired boy stumbled backward and winced. Kiba leapt back at Choji and slashed the Akimichi boy across the back with his claws. Choji cried out and spun around. His expanded arms caught Kiba a glancing blow that sent the feral boy flying backward. Getting gingerly to his feet, Kiba called for Akamaru to help him. The puppy suddenly transformed into a clone of Kiba and the pair leapt at the slower Choji, spinning rapidly like a drill. Choji tried to dodge was too slow and the twin drills of Kiba and Akamaru crashed into him. However, Kiba miscalculated and while the attack was devastating, Choji managed to somehow wrap his arms around Kiba and position the feral boy between him and the wall. Crash! The pair slammed into the wall with a sickening thud and the pair fell to the floor unmoving, and Akamaru was whimpering alongside his master. Since neither fighter are able to continue, this match is a draw and neither Kiba nor Choji move on, Gekko said. The medics quickly took the pair away. Neither boy had any serious injuries but they were in need of some first aid. The board beeped again. Would Hyuga Niji and Kenshin of Iwa come down please? Gekko asked. Naruto watched as the two fighters walked down to the stage. Kenshin was muttering something and wasn't paying attention. Kenshin, are you ready? Gekko asked. Yeah, I'm ready, Kenshin said. Just wish I was fighting the Yondaime lookalike, I owe him one. Instead I'm fighting some white-eyed pretty boy. Niji snarled but that went mainly unnoticed as several people looked around for whoever the Iwa ninja had said that looked like the Yondaime. Well, it was your fate to face me, Iwa scum, just as it is your fate that you will lose to me, Niji sneered arrogantly. Whatever you say pretty boy, but we'll see who has the last laugh, Kenshin snapped. Begin! Niji surged forward in an attempt to engage Kenshin but the Iwa ninja wisely leapt backward out of range. Kenshin threw several kunai at Niji, causing the Hyuga to veer off his charge. Ishi Yoroi! Kenshin cried. Several floor panels came loose and became plates of armor that covered Kenshin's arms and chest. It doesn't matter what you do, your fate is to lose this match, Niji said. He leapt forward once more and this time Kenshin stayed his ground and the two genin traded blows. Niji seemed to dance around Kenshin's heavy blows but was only able to land light, insignificant hits to Kenshin's arms and chest, doing little if any damage to the Ishi Yoroi. Niji is going to have to come up with something stronger if he wants to beat that armor, Naruto commented as he watched Niji duck a crushing blow from Kenshin. It sounds like you know this genin, Kakashi said. Care to share? We met in the forest, his team came after us just because of me, Naruto said. He's a Doton user who's really strong and faster than he looks, even with that armor on. I had to release half my seals to beat the guy. He's strong. Kakashi raised an eyebrow, well he might have, and it was hard to tell behind his mask and forehead protector. Well, Niji seems to be doing quite well, he said. Naruto turned back to the fight and saw that chips of Kenshin's armor had fallen off and cracks were beginning to show. How? Sakura asked. The Hyuga clan practices a special taijutsu style that allows them to emit chakra from their hands to bolster their blows, Rock Lee said. The Hyugas use their Kekai Genkai, the Byakugan, to see the chakra points on a person's body, and if precise enough, a practitioner of the gentle fist can shut off a person's chakra points and seal a person's chakra. Naruto and Sakura looked at Lee in astonishment. I lied before, I am not the strongest genin in Konoha, Lee said. That honor goes to Niji. I have never been able to beat him, he is a genius of the Hyuga clan. Naruto and Sakura looked stunned at Lee's analysis. So Niji is that strong, Naruto commented. Still Kenshin won't give up that easily, he'll fight until he collapses or worse. The group turned back to the fight where while Niji's attacks were starting to do some noticeable damage, Kenshin had managed to land a couple of blows which were much stronger. Niji's lip was bleeding slightly from a glancing blow that Kenshin had landed. Niji needs to finish this soon, he can't take many more of those type of hits, Sakura said. Niji seemed to hear this as he scowled and settled into an unfamiliar stance. His left leg was extended out in front of him, his upper body bent over his leg and arms outstretched with their palms facing upward. "What is that?" Naruto asked. "It's the stance of the gentle fist. Niji-san is going to finish this," Guy said. Niji sneered at Kenshin. "It's over, you are in range of my divination." Niji surged forward, blurring almost out of sight. He reached Kenshin before the Iwa Genin could react. "Hakurokuji on show." Naruto watched as Niji's hands blurred through his attack. He could barely see the individual attacks. Kenshin groaned as his armor crumbled and he fell to his knees. "I've blocked all of your chakra points, you can't use any chakra," Niji said. "I suggest you give up." "I had to use a lot more chakra in that attack than I wanted to." That armor protected him somewhat, but I was destined to win this fight, Niji thought as he watched Kenshin struggle to move. "It's pointless to resist, you're lucky to still be breathing after that attack," Niji sneered. "This match is over," Gekko thought. He stepped forward. Due to his opponent being unable to continue, Hyuga Niji is the winner. Naruto watched as a medical team took Kenshin away. If Niji was able to beat Kenshin that easily, how strong is he? "How strong am I?" he thought. "Naruto, Naruto," Sakura said sharply, whacking the blonde upside the head. "What the hell, Sakura-chan? What was that for?" Naruto cried. "It's your turn, Baka," she answered. "Yatta." "Who am I fighting?" he asked. "Look." Naruto turned to the board and paled. Chapter 12: A Catalyst for Change. The board showed two names, glowing yellow against the black background. Uzumaki Naruto vs. Hyuga Hinata. "I have to fight Hinata/Naruto-kun," the pair said at the same time. "Yahoo Hinata, you got so lucky getting to face the dobe," Kiba laughed. Naruto glared at the feral boy, who had returned from the infirmary after looking at his injuries. "This will be a breeze." "Uzumaki Naruto, Hyuga Hinata, will you please come down here?" Gekko called. The pair leapt down to the floor and stood apart. Well, the worthless heiress and the dead last," Niji called down from the viewing platform. "This fight isn't going to be worth watching, just declare it a draw. Fate has decreed that these two weaklings will." "Will you shut up?" Naruto shouted from the floor. "Stop whining about fate and all that shit. And Hinata isn't worthless, she's stronger than you think." "Why, you insolent brat?" "You know nothing," Niji growled. "And if you think that Hinata is strong, then you are more of an idiot than I thought." Naruto glared at the older Hyuga. He turned back to Hinata, who was looking down at floor. "Come on Hinata, don't listen to that team," Naruto said. "Just because you don't like to fight doesn't mean you're weak, it takes more strength not to fight than it does to fight." Hinata looked up at Naruto. "But Naruto-kun, I don't want to fight you," she said softly. "I don't want to fight you either Hinata, but there are times when you have to do things you don't want to do in order to help your friends," Naruto said. "And you need to learn to get over this confidence issue of yours. You are a lot stronger than you realize, you just have to believe in yourself." "But Naruto-kun." "No buts Hinata, we will have this fight so you can show everyone how strong you are," Naruto interrupted her. "That weakling will never be strong, fate has decreed." "Will you shut up?" Naruto roared. "Hinata and I are trying to have a conversation and you're interrupting. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?" Niji's brow twitched and his Byakugan activated. "Don't you dare speak of my parents, you bastard. Didn't your parents tell you to respect your betters?" Harsh laughter billowed out of Naruto at this. "I wouldn't know, I never met my parents, they died within hours of my birth." And besides, what makes you think you're my better? Naruto said. Silence hemmed Neji in as everyone looked down at Naruto. The Sandaime, Kakashi and Sakura looked down at their feet, while the other spectators were looking down at Naruto with varying looks. Come on Hinata, it's time to start this fight, Naruto said. It's time to show the world how strong you are. Naruto-kun, I'm not strong like you, Hinata whispered. Everyone knows it. Stop talking like that Hinata, Naruto snapped. Who cares what everyone else thinks? The only people whose opinions should matter are yourself and those you wish for. Hell, if I were what everyone thought of me as, the village probably wouldn't be standing. It would be rubble and ash. Shocked silence met Naruto's statement. The Hokage and the older Leaf Jonin knew what Naruto was speaking of and honestly they couldn't fault him for it. The foreigners and the assembled genin looked both confused and a bit miffed that Naruto would make such a statement. Naruto, what the hell are you talking about? Ino cried. Like hell you have enough power to beat Hinata, let alone destroy the village. Why the hell would you want to anyway? Trust me Ino, if you have lived my life growing up, you wouldn't be so quick to judge me, Naruto said. Come on Baka, you didn't have a rough life, Kiba said. You were always smiling, laughing and all that. What makes you think you had it rough? Team 7 looked at the feral boy in disgust. Sasuke was glaring at Kiba, his Sharingan blazing, while Sakura looked furious. Kakashi also looked angry with Kiba. Kiba, don't talk of things you don't understand, Naruto cried. Why you? Kiba growled. Enough Kiba, Kurenai barked. Naruto turned to Hinata. Hinata, it's time. Let's do this, he said, settling into his taijutsu stance. Naruto-kun, please don't do this, Hinata stammered. Hinata, I'm sorry but this is for your own good. I know you don't like hurting people, but you have to get over it. But... Stop being selfish! Naruto roared. Hinata flinched as if being struck. Do you think that an enemy will take it easy on you and not fight just because you said you didn't want to fight? Hell no, they won't care what you'd say. What would happen if the enemy was after your sister, or someone you cared about? What would you do then? I'd protect my sister, Hinata said. That's right, because you want to protect her, but if you don't start believing in yourself, you'll never become strong enough to do that, Naruto said. In order to become truly strong, you need to fight for something precious to you. You'd want to protect your sister, your clan, then do so and fight me. Prove to me that you're strong enough to protect those precious to you. Hinata looked at Naruto and something changed in her eyes. They became calmer, more sure of herself. There you go Hinata and show me what you've got, Naruto said before he raced forward. Hinata's Byakugan activated on instinct as Naruto reached her. She slapped aside a punch and made to strike back but Naruto leapt away. This is going to be hard, I can't let her get a chance to mess with my chakra but I also can't go easy on her, Naruto thought as he dodged a couple of blows. She needs this as much as I do. That's it Hinata, show me how strong you are, Naruto said as he ducked under a blow and went to deliver a shot to Hinata's side when she danced around it and hit Naruto in the arm. Everyone froze, even Hinata. And that cost her. Don't stop Hinata, don't ever stop moving forward and never let your enemy get a chance to regroup, Naruto said as he landed a spin kick to Hinata's chest. She was able to partially deflect it but the force of the blow still sent her stumbling back a couple of feet. The spectators watched in amazement as Naruto and Hinata traded blows. No one had seen this side of Hinata, she seemed confident and focused, her eyes were different than what anyone had seen. Hinata, is this who you really are? Kurenai thought. Thank you Naruto. Alright Hinata, let's see how good your eyes are, Naruto thought as he lowered his gravity seal by 2 steps. Catch me if you can Hinata, he laughed as he sped off. Hinata's eyes widened as she struggled to keep up with Naruto's increased speed. She ducked a punch and shot her hand out and caught Naruto's side. Naruto winced as he felt Hinata's chakra punch him. He knew that he couldn't take a lot of those types of hits. The gentle fist was the epitome of close combat taijutsu style. Naruto leapt back and flew through some hand signs. Futon Rankuden, he cried. Naruto spat a ball of compressed chakra at Hinata. Hinata leapt out of the way of the attack and bit her lip. She knew that at close range, the gentle fist had the advantage, but she had no range attacks. Come on Hinata, I know this isn't all you've got, Naruto mocked. A hidden frown twisted his lips as he mocked his friend. Hinata, I don't want to do this, but if you don't stop holding back in fear of hurting me, you'll never be strong enough to protect someone precious to you, he thought. Hinata raced forward. There you go Hinata, don't be afraid to let go and let your instincts take over, Naruto thought as he dodged a strike aimed at his chest. Naruto retaliated with a punch that caught Hinata in the shoulder. Hinata went with the blow and used its momentum to spin away from Naruto. Futon Shippudejiki. Naruto shouted as he charged forward and punched Hinata in the stomach. Hinata's eyes widened as the wind chakra-aided strike impacted her stomach. As Naruto leapt back, Hinata bent over and clutched her stomach. You can't take your eyes off your opponent, Hinata, Naruto's voice came from above Hinata. Senpu Handu. Whirlwind kick. In a blur of blue and orange, Naruto appeared above Hinata and delivered a devastating spin kick to Hinata's side. The girl was able to get an arm up to partially block some of the force, but it still felt like getting hit by a sledgehammer. Hinata got to her feet gingerly, her left arm numb. Come on Hinata, that can't be it, Naruto said. I know you're stronger than this. Show me how strong you are. Or are Niji's words true, that you are weak? Because I know there's a whole hell of a lot more than you can give. Naruto grinned as Hinata flinched when she heard his verbal jab and looked up at him with hurt eyes. Hinata, you are strong, stop hiding behind this meek facade, Naruto said. Show everyone the real you, stop acting this way. You want to protect your family, then stop doubting yourself. Hinata's Byakugan reactivated as her face settled into a stony mask. That's it Hinata, come at me with everything you've got, prove to me that you're different than what everyone says, Naruto said as he settled into his current of the whirlpool stance. Hinata surged forward, her palms glowing. Naruto ducked under a palm strike and delivered another Shippudejiki to Hinata's stomach, which caused Hinata to spit up some blood. But she managed to hit Naruto several times in the stomach as well. There you go Hinata, Naruto grunted. Those strikes, while they looked like nothing, felt like Kakashi had punched him. No more holding back. Naruto blocked a punch and landed of his own that caused Hinata to double over. It's over Hinata, Naruto said. Uzumaki Dejiki, he cried bring his knee up and catching Hinata under her chin that snapped her head back. He followed that up with a double-fisted punch to her chest that sent Hinata flying backward. Naruto blurred behind her and cried, Senpu Handu. Naruto's spin kick caught Hinata in the side and sent her crashing to the floor. Naruto flinched as Hinata's body settled on the floor. I'm sorry Hinata but I had to get you to fight, Naruto thought. Gekko stepped forward. With his opponent unable. No, a soft cry came from Hinata on the floor. Naruto turned and saw that she was slowly getting to her feet, even with blood trickling from her mouth. I'm not done yet, I still have to prove, Naruto-kun, that I am strong. I won't give up. Naruto smiled at Hinata. If you're sure, he said getting back into his stance. Gekko looked like he wanted to end the fight but subsided. Hinata looked at Naruto, her eyes sharp and focused. Naruto-kun, thank you, Hinata said. Thank you for believing in me and showing me that I am strong and I am what I wish to be. I'm happy I was able to help Hinata, it's what friends are for, Naruto said. Now I believe we have a match to finish. Hi, we do. The two fighters raced forward once more and began exchanging blows. Hinata's attacks, while slightly slower because of her injuries and exhaustion, were sharper and more accurate, forcing Naruto to duck and weave around them. I need to finish this quickly or I might lose, Naruto thought. I'm glad I was able to help Hinata get over her confidence issues and self-esteem, but if I'm not careful, she might actually hurt me. Just then Hinata stumbled as exhaustion and fatigue finally set in. Naruto rushed forward and cried, "Uzumaki Jinkatsu," before planting his fist once more in Hinata's stomach. Hinata's eyes widened as her breath left her in one gasp. She tried to regain her breath but her body wouldn't cooperate. She crashed to the floor with a muted thud and darkness, claimed the Hyuga heiress. "Winner Uzumaki Naruto," Gekko said before signaling for the medical team. "How is she?" Naruto asked after the medical team had lifted Hinata onto a stretcher. "A couple of cracked ribs, some bruising and a mild concussion," the lead medic said. "She'll need to rest for a week or so but she'll make a full recovery." "Thank you," Naruto said with a bow to the medic. He then made his way up to the viewing platforms where the other genins looked at him with a multitude of reactions. "It seems that you were fated to defeat that worthless waste of space," Niji sneered. "You were lucky not to face a real Hyuga or you would have lost." "I thought I just beat a real Hyuga," Naruto said. "Hinata is much stronger than you think, Niji, and I must have misspoke earlier. I beat a human being, not a puppet that has a giant stick up its ass crying for a little pity party." Niji's eyes widened in shock. "How dare this commoner speak to me in such a way," he thought. "You better pray to Kami that we don't fight in the finals, because I will kill you," Niji snarled. Naruto just looked at the enraged Hyuga and said, "Better men than you have tried and failed. Your tough guy act doesn't scare me, so get over yourself." "Enough, Naruto," Kakashi said sternly, though he privately agreed with his student. "Why isn't Naruto scared that Niji said he would kill him if they fight in the finals?" Ino asked. She had recovered from her injuries and had returned to the indoor arena. "And why did he say that others had tried to kill him? I mean, sure, Naruto is annoying, but he is exaggerating about people trying to kill him, right?" Kiba asked. Naruto looked away and walked over to the bench and sat down. Sakura and Kakashi noticed this and gave him space. Sasuke snorted. "Please, the dope is just playing the fool," Sasuke sneered. "He thinks he's had a hard life, please." "Sasuke, that's enough," Kakashi growled. "Yeah, Sasuke, stop being such a brat," Sakura snapped. Sasuke snarled. "Don't speak to me like that, weakling," the boy growled. "You know nothing of what I have had to endure." "No, she hasn't," Naruto's voice growled from behind Sasuke. "But that doesn't give you the fight to speak to Sakura-chan like that." Sasuke spun around, his Sharingan spinning. "Don't you dare talk down to me like that, dobe, you're nothing but trash, a clanless dobe who will amount to nothing," Sasuke growled at Naruto, disdain dripping from his voice. Naruto just glared at Sasuke. "We'll see, Sasuke. Make it through the finals, and when we fight, we'll see who's stronger." "Oh, come on, Naruto, don't be stupid," Ino scolded. "There's no way you could ever beat Sasuke." Naruto just gave her a foxy grin. "We'll just have to wait and see." The board beeped and everyone glanced up at the board. "Would Dosu and Ichigo of Mizu please come down here?" Gekko called. The bandaged Odo ninja leapt down from the platforms. A red spiky-haired boy joined him. "Man, these mist ninja are pathetic compared to Haku and Zabuza," Naruto said as the leaf ninja watched the Odo nin dominate the Mizu nin. It was an interesting match, since Dosu never seemed to land a blow on the other shinobi. "What's his trick?" Naruto thought. "Yash! It's finally my turn," Rock Lee cried from alongside the rookie genin, as the final two names appeared on the board. Rock Lee vs. Gaara of the Sand. Naruto watched as Lee leapt down from the platforms, Gaara appearing 15 feet away in a swirl of sand. Gaara was staring at Lee, almost like a piece of meat. The redhead's mouth was twisted in an evil, bloodthirsty smile. "I don't like this, that Gaara kid, he's not normal," Naruto said. Kakashi looked at Naruto sharply, while the other genin looked at him strangely. "What are you talking about, Naruto?" Sakura asked. "I don't know myself for sure, but there's something off about him," Naruto said. "I don't know if Lee can win this fight." Tenten glared at the blonde. "I'm not saying that Lee isn't strong, but but Gaara is on a whole different level. My student isn't one to back down from a fight, and his will is strong, Guy said. I understand, Guy-sensei, and I'm not doubting that Lee isn't strong. He's probably stronger than me, but I don't think it will be enough against Gaara, Naruto said. Are the two fighters ready? Gekko asked. Yash! Let us have a good fight, Lee said loudly, giving Gaara a thumbs up. The Sannin didn't react. Begin! Gekko cried, leaping back. Naruto and the other genin watched in amazement and awe, then shock, then awe again as the bout between Gaara and Lee went back and forth. Naruto was stunned at the speed Lee possessed without his weights on. Lee was faster than he was without his seals on. Naruto was also terrified at the display of power from Gaara. Any other person would have been beaten to a bloody pulp by Lee's attacks, but Gaara was able to mostly shrug them off, at least until Lee opened the celestial gates. However, that proved to be a double-edged sword, as after using the gates to gain a small advantage, the strain proved too much and Gaara's sand was able to capture Lee. Naruto and the other Leaf genin watched in horror as Gaara seemingly effortless used his sand to crush Lee's left arm and leg. The older genin was only saved by the timely action of Guy, who leapt into the fray as Gaara made to finish Lee, permanently. The medical team carried Lee off, and Naruto bowed his head in respect to his fallen comrade. Lee had shown them what a truly splendid ninja he was, and Naruto vowed to show the world the same in Lee's absence. Now that the preliminaries have been completed, we will draw slots for the final examination, the Hokage announced. What? Naruto cried. We've got to fight again, now. No, Naruto, the final competition will be held in 1 month's time, the Hokage said. This will give you all time to recover from your injuries, as well as train to get stronger. Also, it will give our VIPs time to arrive, as the Chunin exams are very important to the villages that participate, as they are able to impress clients who will bring more missions to the villages. Now then, you will each select a number at random from this box. Anko stepped forward and each genin withdrew a slip of paper. If you would please give the number you have chosen, starting with you, Naruto, the Hokage asked. 1, Naruto said. 6, said Sakura, holding up her slip. 7, Kankuro said with a grin. 3, Sasuke said. 10, said Aniki. 12, Katsumi whispered. 8, Shino said in his monotone. 4, Gaara said. 5, Temari stated. 2, Niji said, glaring over at Naruto, who met the Hyuga's gaze evenly. I have 9, said Dosu. Which means I have 11, muttered Shikamaru. So the pairings are set. Please take a good look at who you will be facing in the first round, Anko said, holding up a piece of paper. Match 1 Uzumaki Naruto vs. Hyuga Niji. Match 2 Uchiha Sasuke vs. Sabaku no Gaara. Match 3 Sabaku no Temari vs. Haruno Sakura. Match 4 Sabaku no Kankuro vs. Aburame Shino. Match 5 Dosu vs. Aniki. Match 6 Nara Shikamaru vs. Katsumi. There you have it. Now I wish you all good luck in the upcoming competition, the Hokage said. Train hard and make your villages proud. Wait, if this is a tournament, then does only one of us become a Chunin? Kankuro asked. No, you don't have to win the competition to be promoted, the Hokage said. In fact, you could lose your first match and still be promoted. The Chunin selections are based on your skill, rather than if you win or lose. Though the more times you defeat your opponent, the more opportunities you get to show the judges your strengths. So, you're saying that all of us, or even none of us, could be promoted? Shikamaru asked. The Hokage nodded. What a drag, he muttered. Now then, you will all be escorted from the tower and free to do as you wish for the next month, the Hokage said. Hey Kakashi-sensei, when are we meeting for training tomorrow? Naruto asked, when they reached the village. I need to get stronger if I want to beat that stuck-up Hyuga team. Kakashi looked down at his blonde student. Naruto, I can't train you, I need to be focusing on Sasuke. He's facing Gaara, he's going to need all the help he can get. Naruto's face darkened. Of course, the team gets special treatment. Naruto, if Sasuke were to face Gaara now, he'd most likely be killed, Kakashi said. Now's not the time to be selfish, think about your teammate. Oh right, of course I'm being selfish by asking my Jonin sensei to help train me, Naruto growled. Kakashi frowned. I know it isn't fair, Naruto, but I have my orders, he said, though Naruto could hear the undercurrent of disgust in his sensei's voice. Ask Hokage-sama, he might know someone who could train you. Okay, Kakashi-sensei, what about Sakura-chan though? She made it to the finals as well. Naruto asked. I have some ideas on who she needs to ask to help her train, Kakashi said. I can give you some more Jutsu scrolls, but she needs to learn more Jinjutsu, and I'm not the right person for the job. Oh, okay, then I'll guess I see you around, sensei, Naruto said before vanishing in a swirl of wind. Naruto reappeared outside his old apartment. While he had moved into his parents' house, sometimes he would still come back here almost unconsciously. And today was one of the days that he wished he hadn't. Across the door, in red paint, were the words "Die Demon Die." At least people still think I live here, it's keeping them from looking for me, Naruto thought before making a ram hand sign, releasing the seal protecting his door. Naruto had gone to the Hokage when he first entered the academy, asking for a way to protect his apartment from the villagers trying to break in and wreck it or worse. The Hokage gave him a book on the art of Fuinjutsu. And Naruto took to it like a fish in water. It didn't hurt that the Yondaime Hokage had been a master of Fuinjutsu and the Yondaime was Naruto's hero. His respect for the man had gone up even after finding out that the Yondaime had been the one to seal the fox in him. Naruto started taking down the seals that he had put up around the apartment. It was time to leave everything behind. By nightfall, Naruto had stripped the place of all its seals except for the locking seal on the door and windows. He didn't want anyone breaking in and trying to torch the place again. The next morning found Naruto making his way to the Hokage tower. He ignored the secretary, who hated him anyway, and shoved the door open. Hey old man, I need a couple of favors, Naruto said. Naruto-kun, what brings you here? The Sandaime Hokage asked. I thought that you would be training already. That's part of the reason I'm here, Gigi, I need a sensei. Kakashi has to train the team because of the damn council, and he left me high and dry. I see. I might have someone who can help you out, the Hokage said. He should be by the bathhouses. Look for an older man, with long, spiky white hair and red lines on his face. Will do, well then I better get going, I'm burning daylight, Naruto said. Ja-ni Gigi, Naruto said before vanishing out the window. He reappeared at the Konoha bathhouses a moment later and began looking around for the man that the Hokage had said would help him train. It wasn't long until he came upon a taller man, sitting on top of a giant toad peeking over the fence to the women's side of the baths. Pervert. Naruto huffed. Hey Aragigi, what the hell do you think you're doing? He cried. He grinned as multiple cries of pervert came from the hot springs and the fence came crashing down as a group of enraged women attacked the white-haired man with weapons that appeared out of nowhere, considering the women were only wearing towels, or less. Naruto's face went bright red as he felt blood flow down his face before turning away. When he turned back around, the mob of angry women, the most destructive force on the planet, was gone and what was left wasn't pretty. The white-haired man's face was bloody, bruised and misshapen to the point that you could barely recognize that the face was human. Note to self: never peek on women, Naruto said. Better yet, don't get caught, Kurama's voice chuckled in Naruto's head. Naruto nodded in concession. Wait a minute, please don't tell me this is the guy that Gigi said would train me? Naruto wailed as the white-haired man came to. Who are you, Gaki? The man snapped. Uzumaki Naruto, who the hell are you? Naruto snapped back. The man's eyes widened for a split second, but Naruto caught it. Then Naruto's mouth fell open as the white-haired man introduced himself in the most ridiculous way possible. You're Jiraiya of the Sannin, the Toad Sage, correct? Naruto asked. Yep. Jiraiya said proudly. So where have you been all these years, Kyufu? Naruto asked coldly. Jiraiya's face paled. What are you talking about? He whispered. Save the denial act, I know about my parents, my tenant and you, Naruto growled. So answer my question, where have you been? Jiraiya sighed and dropped his head. Naruto, I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say? I wanted to be here, to raise you, but my obligations to the village made me stay on the move almost constantly. And with me being constantly on the move, spying and gathering information for the village, that's no way to raise a child. But why haven't I seen you around before? I mean, you can't have been gone all these years? Naruto asked. I've tried to see you as much as I could, but the blasted council stopped me at every turn, Jiraiya said. Though who do you think gave you your frog wallet and those goggles for your birthday a couple years ago? That was you? Naruto asked softly. Of course, I know they weren't the best gifts, but I couldn't really give you something really extravagant or people would have started asking questions, and you don't need more unwanted attention. Naruto nodded. Thank you, Kyofu, he whispered. I know that you would have tried to take me with you, but if I had gone with you I probably would have been in as much danger as I am in the village. I understand your reasons for not being able to care for me growing up, but it's going to take some time for me to forget. Jiraiya bowed his head. I don't deserve forgiveness, hell, your parents would probably knock me for a loop if they knew, but thank you Naruto, and I promise that I will be around as much as I can be, he said. Naruto nodded. So Sensei sent you to find me to get some training for the Chunin finals, right? Jiraiya asked. Hi. What are you planning on working on then? Sensei sent some notes along to me over the years, and they've become more frequent since you graduated. He said that you know the Shadow Clone Jutsu, what else? Hi, I know that, a couple wind and water jutsus, though I'm having trouble using my lighting affinity. Wait, you have a lighting affinity? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, actually I've got 3 affinities, wind, water and lighting. The kid's got 3 elemental affinities. Jiraiya thought. I wonder if he's just like Minato. You've got 3 affinities. Jiraiya exclaimed. That's really rare. Only problem is, my 2 affinities are the only 2 you don't have, earth and fire. So I don't know how much help I can really be in regards to those. Though I do have some jutsu scrolls that you can look at. That would be great, Era-sensei, but first I need to get my chakra control up to an acceptable level, Naruto said. Right now, it's at high Jonin/low Chunin level. I want it at low Jonin by the end of the month. Aren't you aiming a little high there? Jiraiya said. Not really, Naruto said. Tajukage Bunshin. The clearing suddenly filled with around 100 clones. Jiraiya was gobsmacked at the amount. Alright, I want 25 of you to work on tree climbing until we can do it without thinking. Another 25 of you will work on the leaf exercise while tree climbing, and the rest of you start on water walking. Use up all your chakra then dispel, slowly. Yash, the clones cried. Jiraiya watched in amazement as the clones rushed off to their assigned tasks. Then he turned to the original. So you know the secrets for the shadow clone, well done. And what are you going to do? I'm going to up my gravity seal to the next level and spend the night getting used to it, Naruto said. You use a gravity seal? What level are you at? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I've been using them ever since I graduated, and I'm at level 5 going on level 6, Naruto said. Jiraiya was stunned. A kid his age already at level 6 of a gravity seal, he thought. So what am I to do while you train, he asked. Well, like I said, I need to get used to my new weight so I'll take it easy, though since you're a spy, you must have some jutsu that enables you to hide in plain sight, or turn invisible, right? Naruto asked. Now that you mention it, I do have a jutsu that fits that description perfectly, Jiraiya said, mischief gleaming in his eyes. Here was something that he could give his godson that was his alone. I call it my transparency jutsu, really useful for sneaking around, makes you turn invisible. It's nearly perfect, I just have to disguise my scent as well. Can you teach me? I think I might have an idea on how to use it against Niji team as well as give the village something to enjoy. Naruto asked. Jiraiya smiled and nodded. Chapter 13 Opening the Blind. The village hidden in the leaves seemed to have come alive as the day of the Chunin exam finals dawned bright and clear. Carriages and people by the dozens entered through the wide-open gates in preparation for the finals. The air was abuzz with excitement as a figure stood upon the head of the Yondaime Hokage. From a distance one might confuse this figure with the deceased and revered Hokage, but upon closer examination this figure was a good foot shorter, and seemed to have peculiar birthmarks adorning his cheeks that looked like whiskers, yet these were the only differences between the two men. "Well, Toussaint, it's time," Naruto said as he gazed out over the village. "I hope you and Kaz-san are proud of me. I think you'd be pretty disappointed in how the village has treated me, going against your final wishes, but I think I can understand their fear and pain. I'm the reminder of their fear and what they lost that night. But I think it's time that the Leaf and the ninja world sees the return of the Flash, don't you think?" A warm breeze fluttered the short-sleeved coat that Naruto was wearing, acting as if someone agreed with him. "Johnny Toussaint, Kaz-san, I'll see you after the finals," Naruto said before vanishing in a streak of yellow. Sakura walked out onto the floor of Konoha Stadium where the Chunin exam finals were being held and saw several of her fellow Chunin hopefuls already there, including Shikamaru, Neji and the Sand siblings. But who she didn't see were her two teammates. "Hey Shikamaru, where are Naruto and Sasuke?" she asked the lazy Nara heir. The dark-haired boy merely raised an eyebrow and shrugged. Sakura huffed in annoyance. The doors opened and everyone turned to see a Konoha Jonin with a sunbon sticking out of his mouth like a toothpick standing there with the two Iwanin bracketing him. "Come on you lot, it's time," the Jonin said. "But sir, what about Naruto and Sasuke, they're not here yet?" Sakura asked. "Well, if they're not here by the time their fights start, they forfeit the match and can't become a Chunin," the man said. "Now come on." Hiruzen was looking out from his seat as the stadium quickly filled with spectators. He felt unease in his chest that he had long attributed to the realization that something bad was going to happen. It had settled in his chest ever since Naruto had come to him after the first exam about Kabuto, as well as the sighting of his wayward former student Orochimaru during the second exam. Noticing something out of the corner of his eye, Hiruzen turned to see the Kazekage as well as the Tsuchikage, with their two bodyguards. "Kazekage-san, Tsuchikage-san, welcome to the village hidden in the leaves," Hiruzen said with a broad smile. "I'm glad that you both could make it." The Kazekage nodded tightly and took his seat while the Tsuchikage chuckled. "Never thought I would be here, Hiruzen. I'm surprised that you allowed my teams to participate in these exams." "We shouldn't condemn the young for the sins of their parents," Hiruzen said. As the genin made their way out to stadium floor, Sakura continued to look around for her teammates. "Where are they?" she muttered. "Looks like that failure decided that he couldn't fight fate," Neji sneered. "Guess that coward finally grew some brains and realized that he could never beat me." Sakura spun around and raised a clenched fist, ready to deck Neji when a figure appeared in a flash of yellow in front of her. Shocked murmurs and whispers filtered down from the crowd as they took in the newcomer. Sakura blinked to clear her vision and then recognized the shock of golden blonde hair. "Naruto!" Sakura cried. "Hey Sakura-chan, how's it going?" Naruto said with a foxy grin. "Baka, where have you been? You were almost late and then you would have been disqualified," she berated. Naruto chuckled and scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. "Well, it's a good thing I'm not late then," he said. "Where's the team?" "Don't know," Sakura replied. "But he's probably late because of Kakashi-sensei." "You're probably right," Naruto said. Just then Sakura noticed Naruto's outfit. "Naruto, what are you wearing?" she asked. Naruto was wearing a blue jonin outfit with black sandals, a battered green flak jacket that had seen better days. Covering the flak jacket was a dark orange short-sleeved coat with red flames along the bottom and the Uzumaki spiral between his shoulder blades. "What was that, Neji?" Naruto asked coolly, glaring at the stunned Hyuga. "Naruto!" Sakura snapped. "Oh sorry Sakura-chan," Naruto chuckled sheepishly. "I just felt like putting on a show for the nobles, isn't that what we're here for?" To show off what we can do, so I thought I might as well look good doing it. As Naruto turned back to face Neji, his sharp hearing could hear some of the spectators muttering about his appearance, how the demon child was disgracing the yondaime. Up in the Kage box, that Tsuchikage was staring shrewdly at Naruto. Say Hiruzen, that newcomer looks a lot like that damnable yellow flash, the old man chuckled. He's got some spunk for dressing like that. Hiruzen licked his lips before answering, yes, Naruto-kun idolizes the yondaime, his dream is to become Hokage and surpass the yondaime. Naruto, eh? Well, he seems to know how to put on a show, the Tsuchikage said. That move looked a lot like the Hiraishin, didn't it? Well, Naruto-kun is a bit of a prankster, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged something up to make it look like it, Hiruzen said. He was able to paint the Hokage monument in broad daylight, so he's got a very interesting mind. Alright you lot, unless your name is Hyuga Neji or Uzumaki Naruto, go back up to the viewing platform, Gunma ordered. The others turned and made their way upstairs, Sakura giving Naruto a nervous smile which the blonde boy returned with his usual bright, confident smile. Are you two ready? Genma asked. Both boys nodded. Then Hajime, and he leapt back. If you think that dressing up like the yondaime will do anything, you're wrong. You are fated to lose this fight, there's nothing you can do, Neji sneered. I thought that I told you that fate is what you make of it. You're just using it as an excuse, a crutch for all the perceived hurts that you've suffered, Naruto said. You're just a coward who doesn't have the courage to fight back against your self-perceived hurts. You're not the only one who's faced pain in their lives. Neji's eyes flashed as his Byakugan activated and he surged forward. Naruto gave ground as he dodged or deflected Neji's strikes. Many people could be heard whispering at the speed and reflexes that Naruto was showing. Looks like I was right when I said that Hinata was a true Hyuga, Naruto said as he ducked under a Juken strike. At least she was able to make this a real fight. Neji roared in anger and dove at Naruto, who merely launched a spin kick that knocked Neji flying. Looks like that this Naruto knows about mental warfare, the Tsuchikage chuckled. He's certainly gotten into that Hyuga's head. Yes, Naruto-kun does have quite the gift for getting under people's skin, Hiruzen said. Man, the title Rookie of the Year means crap if you are the best genin from the year above me, Naruto said. Man Neji, did your ever so precious fate tell you that you were going to get your ass kicked by the dead last orphan? You haven't beaten me yet, Neji snarled. You think that I've even shown a fraction of my true strength? Naruto raised an eyebrow. Well then, by all means. Show me what you've got, he said. Neji rushed forward, chakra glowing from his hands. Naruto dodged a Juken strike aiming for his heart and leapt backward to gain some space. He quickly made some hand seals before calling out, Futon Shippo Haida Fuki. Wind release gale gust. Naruto took a deep breath and exhaled sharply, a stream of wind shot out of his mouth kicking up a great amount of dust obscuring Neji's vision, sort of. Ha! Do you really think you can hide from my Byakugan? Neji cried as he dashed into the dust cloud. What's going on? Sakura cried. I can't see anything in that cloud. Troublesome, Shikamaru muttered as he tried to clear his vision as the dust clouds settled over the entire stadium. It's over, Neji cried as the dust clouds settled back to the ground. Everyone was stunned at the sight of Neji standing over Naruto, who was kneeling on the ground clutching his stomach in obvious pain. A failure like you could never hope to beat me. Naruto groaned as he looked up at the Hyuga, then he laughed. Really Neji, for such a so-called genius, you sure are a baka, Naruto wheezed out. Big talk from the failure, you can barely stand and I've closed all your chakra points, Neji said. You can't use any chakra, how do you think you could beat me? Who said that you closed my chakra points? Naruto laughed as he suddenly poofed into smoke. Ho, ho, Akage Bunshin, the Tsuchikage laughed. That's a high-level jutsu you're teaching your genin there, Hiruzen. Oh, I didn't teach Naruto that jutsu, Hiruzen chuckled. He learned it by himself in only a couple of hours. And I'm impressed that he managed to have that clone sustain those hits from Neji-kun, normally Kage Bunshin dispel after only one hit. Kage Bunshin! Niji growled as he snapped his Byakugan on. There you are, he shouted as he raced toward a corner of the arena. What's Niji doing? No one is there. Sakura asked from the viewing area. Well, I guess Arasenin was right, Naruto's voice smirked as he shimmered into existence in front of the charging Niji. Your Byakugan can see through my Toransupi no Jutsu. But your Byakugan is still blind to everything. Robe of Transparency Jutsu. Niji narrowed his eyes at Naruto's words. Suddenly he was surrounded as 24 Narutos appeared out of thin air. More Kage Bunshins. Are you too much of a coward to fight me yourself? Niji scoffed. Really, I'm a coward. So I'm the one who belittles someone who is fighting with everything they have to prove themselves, blames them for something that was totally out of their control, Naruto growled. You think that Hinata is beneath you just because she doesn't like to fight and because her father was born just moments before yours. What do you know about our clan? You're the dead last classless dobe who was abandoned by. Naruto's eyes grew steely. A subtle pressure descended over the stadium. I might be an orphan, I might not have a clan, but I know that my parents loved me and gave their lives for me and this village, he growled. Just like your father gave his life for his family. You don't know anything about my family, you never had a family. Niji cried. A wave of chaos surged out of Naruto, stunning the entire stadium into silence. Sakura shivered. Note to self: don't make any comments about Naruto not having a family, she thought. This is worse than Zabuza in the Land of Waves. Naruto does have a family, he's got Team 7, we're a family, Inner Sakura retorted. You're right, we're a family, Sakura thought as she turned back to the fight. Fine, if you won't listen I guess I'll have to just beat it into you, Naruto growled as he channeled some chakra. His clones rushed forward, Niji settling into his Jukin stance. In a flurry of blows, the clones were quickly dispatched. Pathetic, is that it? You're just a one-trick pony, aren't you? Niji sneered. Not quite, Naruto said as his hands flew through several hand signs. Suiten Kirigakure no Jutsu. A heavy mist settled over the stadium. Hiruzen's eyes widened as he recognized the jutsu. You certainly full of surprises, aren't you Naruto-kun, he thought. Ho, now where did the Gaki learn that jutsu, that Tsuchikage chuckled. I thought that only Kiri-nin could use it effectively. Well, Naruto's sensei is Hitaki Kakashi, the Kazekage said. So he might have learned it from Sharingan no Kakashi or perhaps on a mission to the wave. Hiruzen stiffened imperceptibly when the Kazekage spoke. While the knowledge that Kakashi was Naruto's sensei was common, Hiruzen couldn't help but feel that the Kazekage knew more than he should. Do you really think a little mist will help you? Niji cried. With my Byakugan, I can see through any of your attempts to hide. Really? Well, go ahead and try to find me, Naruto's voice echoed around the stadium. Sakura shivered as flashes of Team 7's encounter with Zabuza in the Land of Waves came to the forefront of her mind. Niji activated his Byakugan, however he faltered when he winced in pain and deactivated it. What have you done? Niji shouted, rubbing his eyes. So it worked then, Naruto's voice circled Niji, laced with amusement. That's good to know. I wonder if it will work on all dojutsu or just the Byakugan. What are you talking about? Niji cried. I just saturated the mist with my chakra, Naruto chuckled. I didn't know if it would work or not, so color me impressed that it did. I hypothesized that since both the Byakugan and the Sharingan see chakra, if I created too much chakra I could blind your eyes, and from what you said, it worked. The audience was stunned at this. The dead last, demon child and troublemaker had come up with a way to defeat two of Konoha's greatest Kekkei Genkais. The Hyugas in the audience looked both shocked and angered by Naruto's seemingly casual dismissal of their Byakugan. That boy has my vote for promotion even if he doesn't fight again, the Tsuchikage laughed. He just came up with a plan to disable the two most powerful dojutsus in the ninja world that quite a few people can use. True, but I'm sure that the chakra drain isn't practical, Kazekage said, his eyes gleaming with greed. Kukaku.my, my Naruto-kun, to be able to come up with such a strategy, ingenious. Maybe I was a bit hasty in my dismissal of the Kyuubi brat, Orochimaru thought. You're probably right, Kazekage-san, Hiruzen said. But Naruto is a special case, he has an overabundance of chakra, so the usage of this plan won't affect him as much as you might think. Where are you? Neji screamed as he looked wildly around, trying to activate his Byakugan every few seconds, but the mist still had too much chakra for Neji to get a clear picture of his surroundings. Right here, a chilling voice whispered next to Neji's ear. The Hyuga cried out and spun around, his fingers glowing with chakra. Too slow, Naruto said. Futon Renduken. Naruto spat a ball of condensed wind chakra from his mouth that shot across the arena. Neji's eyes widened as he quickly spun on his heel, creating a sphere of chakra that surrounded him. The attack crashed into the Hyuga's defense, creating a large explosion. Naruto narrowed his eyes to protect them from the dust and debris that had been kicked up by the eruption. What was that? I've never seen a technique like that, though it looked a bit like my Rasengan, Naruto thought. He watched Neji emerge from the smoke, battered and bruised but still conscious and looking pissed. Interesting technique, Naruto commented. Though it looks like it uses quite a bit of chakra. That's my rotation, it's my ultimate defense, Neji crowed as he glared at the blonde. Ultimate defense huh, well let's test it out, Naruto said as he made several more hand signs. Suiten Tempadama. Water release gunshot. A ball of water shot out of Naruto's mouth and sped toward Neji. The Hyuga quickly spun on his heel and used rotation to deflect most of the attack, however his clothes became soaking wet. Well, it blocks wind and water attacks, let's try something a little more shocking, Naruto said with a grin. Raiten Denryu. Lighting release electric current. He thrust his hands out and twin bolts of lighting shot across the arena toward Neji, who quickly attempted to use rotation once more. However, his reflexes weren't as fast as lighting. Ah! Neji cried as electricity arched around his body, his wet clothes beginning to smoke. This Naruto has 3 elemental affinities. Amazing for one so young, that Sachikage said in astonishment. And he used them in succession, also as a combination attack, very impressive. Yes, Orochimaru said, his eyes locked on Naruto. Very impressive, seems to me that you have another genius like the Yondaime on your hands. Hiruzen chuckled. Yes, and funny enough, Naruto had the worst grades in his academy class. Though, he was more interested in planning pranks and causing mischief than taking tests. In the viewing platform, Sakura watched as Naruto easily used 3 different jutsus, each a different affinity than the other. Naruto, how strong are you? She thought, not knowing that similar thoughts were going through all the other genin except for Gaara, who had a murderous gleam in his eyes. Neji struggled to his feet, his clothes still smoking slightly and his limbs twitching from the aftereffects of Naruto's jutsu. Glad to see you're still standing, Naruto said. Though that might be more because my Suiten Tempadama wasn't as effective as it should have been. I have to give you credit, using your rotation to deflect most of the Tempadama was pretty smart. Coward, using jutsu as cheap tricks to try and defeat me, Neji snarled. But you failed, I'm still able to fight and now I know your tricks, they won't work again. You think you know my tricks, Naruto laughed. I haven't even begun to play, let's kick this up a notch. Kai! Naruto cried, focusing his chakra. Nothing seemed to happen, just Naruto standing there with his hands held together in a ram seal. This isn't a genjutsu you can just release yourself from, Neji sneered. Then again, you are the dobe, so I'm surprised that you even know what a genjutsu is. I wasn't releasing a genjutsu, something much better, Naruto grinned as he suddenly blurred out of sight. What the? Neji was cut off as Naruto's fist was planted in his stomach. Neji keeled over, gasping for air. Naruto was standing over Neji like a tower, even though Naruto was a full head shorter than the Hyuga. So you say a ninja using ninjutsu is cheating and cowardly, Naruto said simply. Well then, how about we finish this with our fists, just taijutsu. It's always more satisfying to finish things with their fists, don't you think? Niji struggled to stand up as he glared at Naruto, who was standing there like he was just taking in the scenery. How dare you look down on me, you commoner? Niji roared. You will pay for this. The enraged Hyuga activated his Byakugan and charged Naruto, who grinned almost manically. Let's see if you can catch me, Naruto laughed as he vanished once again. What is this jutsu? Niji thought frantically. With his Byakugan, he was barely able to keep track of the blonde. It's almost like when Lee. And oh, he cried as he barely ducked under a vicious spin kick. There's no way you can be this fast. So you finally figured it out, Naruto chided. You know, for a supposed genius, you are pretty slow on the uptake. That wasn't a genjutsu release I used, it was a seal release, a gravity seal to be specific. Right now, I'm probably a little slower than Lee without his weights. Your eyes might be able to keep up with me, but let's see how your body does. Naruto vanished once more in a burst of speed that left Niji and the crowd gawking. A gravity seal, that Tsuchikage exclaimed. Seems to me that boy is more than just a yondaime lookalike. If rumors are true, that man used the same training exercise to get stronger. Well, like I said, Naruto-kun idolizes the yondaime and he hopes one day to surpass him, Hiruzen said, while inwardly sweating. It wouldn't do for the Tsuchikage to become suspicious of Naruto's heritage, though Hiruzen knew that while Iwa hated Konoha and Minato, they wouldn't attack without the Tsuchikage's approval. And the Tsuchikage wasn't big into blaming the son for the father's sins. But if word got back to Iwa, there might be a chance that someone would try and gain favor by attempting to assassinate Naruto. Niji crashed to the ground from another one of Naruto's kicks. The blonde had been right, while Niji could see Naruto's move but his reactions weren't quick enough to defend himself as well as he would like. He was used to facing off against Lee at this speed. Lee's taijutsu style was very easy to read with his Byakugan, while this boy's was unpredictable and wild, almost as if it was constantly changing. Naruto's taijutsu had improved by leaps and bounds since the academy. He had thrown himself into mastering his mother's clan's taijutsu style. He wasn't a master, that would take years upon years of experience and training, but Naruto considered himself a match for nearly anyone his age in a taijutsu fight, with the exception of Rock Lee without his weights on, as Lee was much stronger physically than Naruto as well as he was considered a genius in his Goken taijutsu style. Come on Niji, surely this isn't all you've got, Naruto said looking down at Niji. You're supposed to be a genius, but you're not acting like it. Niji snarled. He struggled to his feet, blinking blood from his eyes. You won't get away with this, you might be as fast as Lee but that failure has never defeated me and neither will you, he growled. You are within the range of my divination. Niji settled into a stance that Naruto didn't recognize. Hakro on show. 8 trigrams 64 palms. The Hyuga surged forward with incredible speed, his hands outstretched. 2 palms. 4 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. Naruto fell to the ground, his arms and legs twitching rapidly, as if all the nerves were firing off at different intervals. It's over, I've blocked all of your chakra points, Niji said smugly. You're lucky to still be breathing, let alone moving. But you're done now, you can't use any more of your chakra. Are you sure that's me Niji? A voice called out. Naruto walked out of the trees grinning mischievously. The Naruto in front of Niji suddenly exploded into smoke. Kage Bunshin. Niji snarled. It's a great jutsu to fool your and Sasuke team's eyes, Naruto chuckled. The Byakugan and Sharingan might be able to see chakra but since the Kage Bunshin is a solid clone, your eyes can't tell the difference. Now where were we? Oh yes, me kicking your ass. Naruto dashed forward, planting his fist deep into Niji's stomach. Niji bent over, gasping for air but his face was met by Naruto's rising knee, which snapped his head back. Naruto continued on landing a snap kick to Niji's ribs. Niji cried out in pain as he felt one of his ribs give way. The long-haired boy crashed to the ground, coughing up blood. You rely too much on those eyes of yours. No matter how wide your vision may be, Niji, there will always be some things that you can't see. I know all about how the Hyuga clan is spilled up, and personally I think it's pathetic how the so-called strongest clan in Konoha hides behind their own family. I can understand why they use the caged bird seal. However, if they were smart or at all human, the seal would just lock away the Byakugan after death. It wouldn't be used as a torture device. When I become Hokage, that's one of the first things I'm changing about this place. Hiruzen smiled broadly down at Naruto after hearing his words. That boy is going to be a brilliant Hokage someday, and an even better man, he thought. Proctor, this fight is over, Naruto said, looking up at Ginma, who was watching the two genin with a gimlet eye. He looked down at Niji, who was just staring off at the sky, his eyes not focusing on anything. Winner Uzumaki Naruto, Ginma announced. Naruto gave a quick bow to the jonin and walked off toward the stairs leading to the viewing platform. As he made his way over, the stadium erupted into cheers, much to Naruto's surprise. Naruto, that was amazing! Sakura exclaimed when he reached the others. You really showed Niji and everyone else how strong you've become. Naruto laughed nervously. I guess so. I just hope that Niji takes those final words to heart, he said, growing serious. Relying on just his Byakugan and gentle fist style will stunt his growth as a shinobi. I never understood why the Hyuga looked down upon the other clans for learning different styles in addition to their own. Say, where's the team? His fight is up next. He's not here yet, Sakura answered. If he doesn't show up soon, he'll forfeit his match. I doubt that. They'll probably just push it back to the last fight in order to make sure their previous Uchiha isn't troubled by it, Naruto growled. So that means your fight is up next. You're going up against that girl from the sand who uses futon, right? Sakura nodded. That's right, I just hope that I can win, she muttered. She seems really strong. Have faith in yourself, Sakura-chan, you'll do fine, Naruto said with a broad grin. You're one of the smartest person I know. I'm sure that you've got some kind of plan ready to go. And besides, at least from the preliminaries, all that girl has is long-range attacks, so I would think of trying to get in close. Sakura nodded. Thank you, Naruto. As one of the combatants has yet to arrive, the match between Sabaku no Gaara and Uchiha Sasuke has been delayed until the end of the round, Ginma announced. Told you, Naruto was heard muttering. Though Sasuke will be allowed to fight, he will not be eligible to be promoted to Chunin. Now if Sabaku no Temari and Haruno Sakura would come down here, we can begin the next match. Good luck, Sakura-chan, Naruto cried as the two kunoichi made their way down the stairs to the stadium floor. Oh, how sweet, too bad your little boyfriend isn't going to be able to help you here, Temari sneered as she and Sakura got ready for Ginma to begin their match. Sakura's face flushed, though whether from anger or something else, no one could tell. He's not my boyfriend, he's my teammate and best friend, the pink-haired genin snapped back. And I won't need his help to beat someone like you. We'll see about that, Temari answered with a seemingly malicious smile. Sakura felt a bead of sweat trickle down the back of her neck at the sight. Hajime! Ginma shouted and leapt out of the way as Temari swung her fan around, sending a powerful gust of wind towards Sakura. Sakura leapt backward and rolled to the side, avoiding the attack. She quickly created 3 bunshins and used them as cover to weave several hand signs together. Narukumi no Jutsu. Sakura whispered as she disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Pathetic, Temari shouted. If you think that I'd fall for this cheap trick, guess again. Shinobi of the sand aren't so easy to trick. Futon Kazakiri. A chakra-infused gust of wind sliced through the genjutsu easily as well as destroying the 3 bunshins that Sakura had created. However, Sakura was nowhere in sight. Doton Taiga no Daido. Sakura called out. Earth release river of mud. Temari spun around to see Sakura slamming her hands on the ground. The ground in front of the pink-haired girl quickly liquefied into mud, causing Temari to stumble slightly as her footing faltered. Doton Ryusha Ajita! Sakura cried. Earth release quicksand trap. Suddenly Temari felt as if the mud around her feet was latching onto her legs and sucking her down. "You're going to have to do better than that to catch me," Temari shouted as she channeled chakra into her legs and jumped out of the mud. Spinning in the air, she wiped her fan around and shouted, "Futon our you indo yaiba." Wind release fan wind blade. Kyuso. Sakura growled as she leapt backward to avoid the attack. The attack demolished the forest that Sakura had been hiding in. "Is this it?" Temari scoffed. "You call yourself a kunoichi, pathetic." Sakura growled under her breath as her own insecurities escaped from the deep reaches of her mind. "Are you just going to stand here and let her berate you like that?" Inner Sakura roared. "You are a kunoichi of Konoha, act like it." "Yes, we didn't really take this seriously at the beginning, but we've changed and we're a lot stronger now. Now show this sand bitch what it means to be a Konoha kunoichi." "You're right, I might not be as strong as I could be if I hadn't been chasing after Sasuke during the academy, but I'm not weak," Sakura thought. Reaching into her equipment pouch, Sakura pulled out several kunai and exploding tags. Leaping from cover, Sakura threw 2 kunai at the sand kunoichi. Temari scoffed as she used her fan to easily blow the kunai away. "You're going to have to do better than that," Temari said. "What the?" she said, hearing a sizzling sound behind her. Turning around, she saw a kunai sticking out of the ground with an exploding tag attached, the same exploding tag that had started smoking. "Kyuso!" Temari cursed. She leapt backward just as the tag went off, causing a large explosion. Temari winced as she was peppered by debris and heat from the explosion. "How's this for doing better?" Temari heard a voice whisper behind her. Before she could react, a fist planted itself against her temple and she was thrown across the stadium floor. The sand kunoichi struggled to her feet, her eyes widened when she felt the coppery taste of blood filling her mouth. Spitting the blood from her mouth, Temari opened her fan to reveal 3 purple dots. "It's over, you pest," she shouted. "Futon Daikame Tachi no Jutsu." Wind release Great Sickle Weasel technique. A massive rush of wind filled the stadium, coming from several different directions and all forming dozens of wind blades. Sakura's hands quickly made several hand signs. Slamming her palms to the ground, she cried out, "Doton Ishigaki no Jutsu." Earth release stone wall. The earth trembled for a moment, and then it rose in front of Sakura. However, it wasn't thick enough to block all of Temari's attack. The wind blades cut through the mound of earth and the resulting explosion sent Sakura flying backward through the air until she came to a sudden stop by slamming headfirst into the stadium's wall. She slumped to the ground, not moving. "Sakura-chan!" Naruto cried as he gripped the railing tightly, looking down at his fallen teammate. So focused was Naruto that he barely registered the proctor calling the match in Temari's favor. A medical team sprinted out onto the stadium floor and placed Sakura onto a stretcher before disappearing once more, taking the downed kunoichi to the infirmary. Temari made her way back up to the viewing room and noticed Naruto watching her opponent being taken away on a stretcher like a hawk. "Pathetic," she scoffed. "She makes all kunoichis look weak." Naruto growled but was stopped from making any other moves by Shikamaru's hand gripping his shoulder. "Easy there, Naruto, why don't you just go see how Sakura is doing," he said. "I'm sure that when she wakes up, she'll feel bad enough." Naruto huffed but nodded. He pinned Temari with one final glare before making his way out of the room. Shikamaru looked over at the sand genin. "I wouldn't piss him off, especially after what he just did to that Hyuga. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even show half his true strength," the Narayer said. "Would Sabaku no Kankuro and Aburame Shino come down for their match?" Gunma called out. "I forfeit!" Kankuro cried. Everyone in the viewing platform looked over at the puppet user in shock. "Okay, moving on then," Gunma sighed. "Dosu of the Sound and Aniki of Iwa, get down here." Naruto made his way down into the depths of the stadium trying to find the infirmary. He didn't think he could stay in the same room as the sand girl who belittled Sakura like that. It took all he could not to slam a Rasengan into her face. Excuse me, where's the infirmary? Naruto asked as passing medic. Oh, it's at the end of the hall and on the right, the medic said. Thanks, Naruto said as he walked past. Hey kid, Naruto stopped and turned. Nice match out there, and good luck in your next one, the medic said before continuing on down the hall. Naruto stood frozen. No one aside from the Sandaime, the Ikarakus and Iruka-sensei had ever congratulated him on anything. As if in a trance, Naruto made his way into the infirmary and found Sakura lying on a bed, her pink hair hidden in a turban of bandages around her head, as well as her left arm and right leg. Naruto made his way over to the bed, looking down at his injured teammate. Sakura-chan, he whispered, taking her hand in his. Don't worry, you were great out there. You showed everyone how strong you've become, and I promise you that I will show everyone how strong Konoha is. Naruto, Sakura whispered weakly before falling back unconsciousness. Naruto sat there holding Sakura's hand for another 30 minutes until he heard the cheers from the crowd. I'll be back, Sakura-chan, Naruto whispered before giving her hand a quick squeeze. Naruto crept out of the infirmary and made his way back up to the viewing room just in time to see two figures appear in a swirl of leaves. Naruto's face twisted into a grimace as cheers erupted around the stadium at the sight of Uchiha Sasuke and Hitaki Kakashi. We're not late, are we? Kakashi asked, scratching the back of his head. No, Ginma said shortly. The Kages decided to push back the Uchiha's match until the end of the first round, however since he was late, he will not be eligible for promotion, no matter what happens. What? Sasuke roared. How dare they, what gives them the right to? Silence Genin. Ginma barked. They are the Hokage, Tsuchikage and Kazekage. 3 of the most powerful ninja in the world, and they are the ones who decide who gets promoted. Not another word out of you unless you want to be disqualified before you even get a chance to fight. Sasuke snarled but didn't speak. Sabaku no Gaara, would you come down here? Gaara appeared in a swirl of sand in front of Sasuke, the sand ninja's face twisted in a bloodthirsty grin. Sasuke met that look with his typical Uchiha arrogant smirk. The final match of the first round, between Sabaku no Gaara of the sand and Uchiha Sasuke of the leaf will now begin. Ginma cried as he leapt backward. Sasuke whipped out a kunai and threw it toward Gaara. Without moving, sand flew out of the gourd on Gaara's back and easily blocked the kunai. Then Gaara's sand shot forward, in the shape of a wave, toward Sasuke with frightening speed. Sasuke leapt backward and perched himself on one of the walls, looking down at Gaara like some type of bird. Gaara looked up Sasuke without emotion before his sand began to surround him, slowly creating a large sphere around the Sunanin. What's that Gaara doing? Naruto muttered to himself as he watched Sasuke make several hand signs. A sound similar to a massive amount of birds chirping filled the stadium. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw Sasuke's right hand become encased in blue-white lighting. What the hell is that? Naruto exclaimed. That's my only original technique, a voice said behind Naruto. The blonde turned to see Kakashi standing behind him, with Sakura. Sakura-chan! Naruto cried, rushing over. Are you all right? What are you doing up? Shouldn't you still be resting? Naruto, I'm fine, just a little bruised and woozy, Sakura said. And besides, I wanted to see Sasuke's fight. I might not be chasing after him anymore, but he's still my teammate and I will support him. Naruto nodded. What were you saying, Kakashi-sensei? That's your own technique, right? Correct, Naruto, Kakashi said. The Chidori is my only original technique. I created it to emulate the Yondaime's own technique. Lucky for Sasuke, he has a lighting affinity and he was able to learn it. Could I learn it too? Naruto asked. You might be able to learn, but you can't use it, Kakashi said. At Naruto's confused and slightly angered expression, he continued, the Chidori is an incomplete technique unless you have the Sharingan. It's a full frontal assault that has you moving so fast that without the Sharingan, you can't react to a possible counterattack. I learned that the hard way when I first used it, in fact it was the Yondaime who told me that. How did he know? Sakura asked. The yondaime was my Jonin-sensei, Kakashi said. Naruto knew this already, but Sakura was stunned. He was your sensei, what was he like? We didn't learn much about him in the academy, Sakura said excitedly. Naruto looked at Kakashi intently. Maybe some other time, Kakashi said. I think Sasuke's match is just getting interesting. Naruto turned back to the match in time to see Sasuke speed down the stadium wall, his lightning-encased hand trailing behind him, heading straight for the sphere of sand that hid Gaara. I have a bad feeling about this, Naruto said. Why is Gaara just hiding in that sphere of sand instead of attacking Sasuke? During the preliminaries, Gaara was the aggressor. Do you have so little faith in your teammate Naruto? Kakashi chided. Naruto turned to his sensei with a very serious look on his face. No sensei, I don't have much faith in Sasuke mainly because I think he's a cheat. He uses his Sharingan to steal others' jutsus as his own, just like with Lee's taijutsu move during the preliminaries. Kakashi frowned, while Sakura looked stunned. What I mean is, that since Sasuke is the last loyal Uchiha, he is treated like royalty and has this huge superiority complex. He thinks that he should get anything and everything he wants, and that includes jutsus, Naruto said. Remember what he said after the preliminaries, after I told him about using that taijutsu move from Lee, he didn't care that he stole it, only that it gave him enough power to win. Sakura was looking thoughtful while Kakashi was still frowning, though internally he was agreeing with Naruto. Bloody council forcing me to train Sasuke, Kakashi thought. Just giving him jutsus by the dozens isn't training him, it's pandering to the brat's superiority complex. Sasuke smirked arrogantly as he dodged under several sand spikes that had flown out from the sphere of sand that his opponent had hidden himself in. With his Sharingan, he could easily see the attacks coming and dodge them. When he was finally in range, Sasuke thrust his hand forward and the Chidori stabbed deeply into Sand Sphere. He grinned manically when he felt warm liquid cover his hand before yanking it out. The Sand Sphere seemed to tremble before quickly collapsing, revealing Gaara who was clutching his shoulder looking absolutely shocked that he had been wounded. Sasuke smirked and leapt back to gain space before launching another attack. Boom! Sasuke looked up in time to see a large explosion go off in the Kage box and saw several figures leap out of the smoke and atop the tower that loomed over the stadium. Looking around wildly, he saw that all of the spectators had suddenly fallen asleep. Out of the corner of his eye, Sasuke saw the two sand teammates of Gaara leap down to the wounded boy's sides. The two genin grabbed Gaara and leapt off and vanished over the stadium wall. What are you just standing there for, genin? Genma shouted. Meet up with your sensei for orders, this isn't a drill, it's... He was cut off when a sand ninja appeared in front of him. Sasuke looked around, trying to spot Kakashi but then realized that his opponent was wounded but not down and that wouldn't do. He grinned and leapt after the sand genin. What the hell? Naruto cried as an explosion rocked the stadium, and then dozens of feathers appeared in his vision. He felt his eyes feel heavy and his head felt light, he needed to sit down or lay down somewhere. Naruto! Sakura's voice cut through his daze, as well as he felt as if someone had just pinched him. He shook his head and saw Sakura looking at him with resigned amusement. What happened? He asked. It was a genjutsu, Sakura said. We're under attack by the sound and sand. A pair of sound ninjas appeared behind Sakura, with kunai raised. Naruto grabbed Sakura by the arm and pulled her into his chest, ignoring her squawk of protest as the kunai slashed through empty air. Rolling over so that she was beneath him, Naruto picked Sakura up bridal style and leaped over a row of seats to avoid a second pair of thrown kunai. Sorry Sakura-chan, but there wasn't time, Naruto said, seeing Sakura's red face. Be right back. Naruto blurred out of sight, then there came two grunts and the two sound ninjas collapsed to the floor, each with a kunai in their spines. All around them Leaf Ninja clashed with Sound and Sand Ninja. Get your head in the game, Sakura, Kakashi barked, appearing behind the pink-haired genin with a kunai in each hand. Sasuke has gone after the sand team, get Naruto and Shikamaru and go after them. Summoning Jutsu. Kakashi slammed a hand on the floor, and in a puff of smoke, a small dog wearing a blue shirt with a Konoha headband atop its head. "Pack in here will lead you there," Kakashi said. "Now go." "How is this puppy going to help us find Sasuke?" Sakura asked. "Who you calling a puppy, girly?" Pack-in asked. "Pack-in is one of my tracking nin dogs," Kakashi said. "Now grab Naruto and Shikamaru and go." Kakashi vanished in a swirl of leaves. Sakura looked up to see Naruto battling several sound ninjas, along with his clones. "Naruto, we've got to find Sasuke." "He went after the Sand Genin team," Sakura shouted. Naruto ran through some hand signs and called out, "Raiten Denryu." Several small sparks of lightning shot out of Naruto's hands and hit the kunai that the sound ninjas were carrying. Cursing, the sound ninja dropped their kunai and shook their hands to get the feeling back in them. However, this was a mistake, as several Naruto clones appeared behind them and knocked them out with a chop to each neck. "Wait, what did you say?" Naruto asked. "Kakashi-sensei said that Sasuke took off after the Sand team, and he wants us to find him," Sakura said. "Typical, Sasuke goes off on his own and we have to go and pull his ass from the fire," Naruto grumbled. "How are we supposed to find Sasuke team?" "Yo," a gruff voice said from Naruto's food. Looking down, Naruto saw a small pug-sized dog looking up at him with a paw raised in salute. "That's Pack-in, he's one of Kakashi-sensei's summons and he'll be able to track Sasuke," Sakura said. "Now help me find Shikamaru, sensei said that we had to take him as well." "Roger," Naruto said. Kage Bunshin. A dozen clones appeared. "Find Shikamaru," Naruto ordered, and the clones dispersed into the crowd. A moment later, Naruto stiffened. "He's upstairs. He's either been caught by that genjutsu or he's faking being asleep." Sakura growled. "That sounds about right," she said. "Let's go." The two members of Team 7 leapt off in pursuit of their lazy classmate. Appearing in the stands, Naruto and Sakura saw the destruction and damage that the attack had caused. Several leaf ninja were lying on the floor bleeding, though many more sound and sand ninjas were also on the ground. "There he is," Naruto said, pointing toward the end of the row of seats. Shikamaru was lying on across two seats, not moving. They raced over to him. "What do you think, genjutsu or is he faking?" Just then Shikamaru twitched, as if he had been stung. Naruto and Sakura looked at each other and said simultaneously, "Shikamaru, wake the hell up." Pack-in leapt onto the sleeping boy and raised a leg. "Get off me, you troublesome dog," Shikamaru yelped, his eyes snapping open. Pack-in hopped down to the ground and looked up at the three genin. "Come on you three, we better go," the ninja dog said heavily. Naruto and Sakura nodded while Shikamaru sighed and muttered something. "Kakashi-sensei has ordered us to follow and find Sasuke before he does something stupid," Sakura told Shikamaru as they leapt through a hole in the wall. "Like get himself killed for chasing after those sand genin," Naruto growled. "He has no idea what he's getting himself into. Gaara isn't like a normal ninja, he's got a monster in him and it's affecting his judgment." "What do you mean?" Sakura asked as the trio leapt through the forest following Pack-in. "Just a feeling I have, he kept talking about his mother and how he wanted to give her blood," Naruto said. "Something tells me that it's not really his mother telling him that." "Come on, hurry up," Pack-in called out. "We're closing in on them." "How far ahead are they?" Naruto asked. "Less than a mile," the ninja dog answered. A moment later, he added, "Pick up the pace, we've got 8 different sens following us. And they're closing fast." "Kyuso. It has to be a pursuit squad, or 2, Shikamaru cursed. "They must have noticed us leaving the arena and followed us." "What are we going to do then?" Naruto asked. "Will they catch up to us before we reach Sasuke?" Shikamaru asked Pack-in. "Yes, wait, there's another scent that's now trailing them," Pack-in said. The 3 genin cursed once more. "What are we going to do? If they catch us before we find Sasuke, I don't think they'll let us get by, Naruto said. One of us is going to have to delay them, spring an ambush on them to buy as much time for you two as possible, Shikamaru said. What are you talking about? I should be the one to do the ambush, with my shadow clones it should be easy, Naruto argued. That might be true but you're also the strongest one here, Shikamaru said. You're the only one who can fight Gaara, my family's jutsu is made for delaying tactics. Just keep going, find Sasuke and save his ass. Shikamaru landed on a branch and turned to face their pursuers. Naruto and Sakura looked back at their fellow genin, each having the same thought running through their heads, be careful Shikamaru. Do you think Shikamaru will be able to stop them? Sakura asked as she and Naruto leapt through the trees following Pakin. Have faith in him, Shikamaru might seem like a slacker and a flake, he's the smartest person I know and if anyone can come up with a plan to ambush our pursuers, it's him, Naruto said. Pakin, how much farther? Not far, Pakin answered. They seem to have stopped, less than a half-mile ahead. Also 2 scents have broken off from Sasuke, one of wood and oil, and the other is something I can't describe. Well, the wood and oil scent must be that puppet user on their team, hopefully that other scent is a leaf ninja who caught up with them, Sakura said. We better hurry though, if they've stopped that must mean that Gaara has recovered and they are getting ready to fight. Right. Naruto said. Sakura, I'm going to go on ahead. Sasuke's going to need help fast and I'm faster than you, follow Pakin and then get Sasuke out of there if you can. Okay Naruto, be careful, Sakura said. Hey, it's me Sakura-chan, Naruto laughed as he released his seals and vanished into the forest. That's precisely the reason I said it, Naruto, Sakura muttered. Naruto sped through the forest, his advanced hearing picking up the sounds of battle coming closer and closer. Crashing through a final glade of trees, Naruto came upon a truly frightening sight. Gaara was standing over Sasuke, who looked like he had been thrown through the ringer. Gaara looked like some sort of monster hybrid, nearly his entire body was covered by a sand construct with blue and black tattoos running all over his body. Black flame tattoos covered Sasuke's body, causing Naruto to curse as he realized that Sasuke had used the curse mark against Gaara. Kage Bunshin! Naruto shouted as Gaara approached Sasuke intent on squashing the last Uchiha like a bug. Dozens of shadow clones appeared between Gaara and Sasuke. Futon Rankuden, the clones shouted, shooting dozens of compressed chakra balls at Gaara. The sand-slash-demon hybrid leapt back from the attack and landed on a branch 100 meters away. He turned to Naruto and snarled, "You." "Me," Naruto answered calmly, even though on the inside he was stunned and scared. This could have been me if Iruka-sensei and Gigi hadn't accepted me and acknowledged me, he thought. I'm sorry Gaara, even though I don't like Sasuke much. Well actually I don't like him at all, he's a fellow leaf ninja. And so I can't let you kill him. Dobe, what the hell are you doing here? Sasuke roared. I'm saving your sorry butt, what were you thinking chasing after these guys by yourself? Naruto shouted. Did you have any plan or did you just think that you could just walk over them? Sasuke snarled at the blonde but didn't answer. Thought so. Naruto turned back to Gaara. Gaara, stop this, he said. Your village's invasion is going to fail, there's no point in continuing this pointless fighting. I don't care about this invasion, all I care about is proving my existence and that means killing you and the Uchiha, Gaara cried. Naruto, Sasuke, a familiar voice called out. The two boys turned to see Sakura racing toward them. A blur of tan flew past the two-leaf genin, heading toward Sakura. Sakura-chan! Naruto roared as Gaara closed in on the pink-haired girl. Sakura saw the monstrous form of Gaara closing in on her and froze, mindlessly groping for a kunai to defend herself. She was too slow though, as Gaara/Shikaku's hand closed around her, cutting off any air that she tried to get. The hand slammed her into a tree trunk, knocking any remaining air from her lungs. Gaara grinned manically as he started to tighten his hand around the pink-haired girl. Sakura-chan! Naruto shouted once more, charging toward the half-transformed Gaara. Suddenly a massive tail emerged from Gaara's backside and swung around, knocking Naruto aside like a fly. So this weakling is important to you, Gaara sneered. Well, let's see how important she is. Gaara pulled back from Sakura, though his hands separated from his body, leaving her pinned to the trunk. That sand will continue to tighten around her until her entire body is crushed to pieces. The only way for you to release her is to defeat me, so Uzumaki Naruto, show me your strength. Whirling around, Gaara spat out several gobs of sand, soon a shuriken. Naruto leapt out of the way of the sand projectiles and threw a kunai at the transformed Gaara, then made several hand signs, Kage kunai bunshin no jutsu. The single kunai became hundreds as they rained down upon Gaara, who raised an arm to protect himself. Gaara quickly became a pincushion for all the kunai, though they didn't do much damage. You think these pesky kunai can hurt me? Gaara roared. Not really, but this will, a hard voice growled from behind Gaara. The sand ninja spun around to see Naruto behind him, holding a glowing ball of blue chakra. Rasengan! Naruto roared, slamming the attack into Gaara's stomach. The sand ninja roared out in surprise and pain as the Rasengan drilled its way deeper and deeper into the sand protecting Gaara. This is it, Naruto cried, summoning up more chakra into the Rasengan and sending Gaara flying. Naruto dropped to his knees in exhaustion. He had to put so much chakra into that Rasengan just to force its way through the thick sand around Gaara that it nearly drained him. While the Rasengan took only a set amount of chakra to form and stabilize, trying to have it drill through sand was much more difficult than drilling through something like wood, stone or flesh. And so Naruto had to pump magnitudes more chakra into the attack for it to work as well as on another, more solid, substance. Naruto, how strong are you? How do you have this power? Sasuke snarled. I should have that power, not you. Gaara slowly got to his feet, groaning in pain. How is he this strong? How does he have such strength? There's no way. Not to a guy like him, there's no way I'm going to lose to a guy like him. Naruto slowly got to his feet, looking around for Gaara. A deafening roar filled the forest as the trees in front of Naruto exploded. Flying backward, Naruto watched as an enormous shadow loomed over him. So that's the monster inside Gaara, Naruto thought. Now what am I going to do? I used up most of my chakra with that Rasengan. I can't beat something like that by myself. To think that you brought this out of me, Uzumaki Naruto, the giant tanuki said. But it's time to end this. Sabaku Q. Sand coffin. What the? Naruto cried as his legs slowly began to be surrounded by sand. Kyuso. I can barely move, I barely have enough chakra to stand let alone use another jutsu. Just then Naruto heard a soft groan of pain coming from behind him. Turning around, he saw the sand hand that held Sakura against a tree. Sakura's face seemed almost peaceful, except for the slight twitching and furrowing of her brow as the sand tightened around her. Sakura-chan. Naruto thought. I've got to do something, if I don't Sakura-chan is as good as dead, and this monster will attack the village. Come on, just a little more chakra, please. The giant tanuki raised its hand and made a fist when suddenly Naruto cried out, summoning jutsu. There came a massive explosion and a giant reddish-brown toad wearing a blue happy coat with a large blade in his bandage belt. What the toad bellowed. What's going on? I'm sorry about this toad boss, but I need some help with this guy, Naruto said from atop the toad's massive head. Naruto. What the hell were you thinking summoning me into this mess? Gamabunta roared. He looked over and saw the giant sand demon. So, the sand spirit Shikaku, what do you know? Look, Chief Toad, I would really appreciate your help, Naruto explained. I barely have any chakra left, and if I don't stop him soon, Sakura is as good as dead and then he'll go after the village. I see, well you're going to owe me one, Naruto, Gamabunta said, exhaling a large amount of smoke from his mouth right into Shikaku's face. This guy is no joke. I know, Gamasama, but we have to try, Naruto said. I made a promise that I would protect Sakura-chan no matter what, and I don't go back on my promises. Gamabunta chuckled deeply as he was reminded of another blonde-haired man that stood upon his head the last time he faced off against a Biju. Right then Squirt, hang on, the giant toad said as he drew his Tonto blade. Gamma Bunta surged forward and slashed his blade against Shikaku's arm. Bunta's momentum was just enough for the blade to cut off Shikaku's arm, though the toad's blade flew off. Damn, he's got one tough hide, Bunta grunted. I was barely able to make that cut. Kid, you need to wake that other kid up. Shikaku preys on fear, especially when his container is asleep. So if the container wakes up, Shikaku goes back to being contained. Okay, but now in the hell do I do that? Naruto cried as they dodged a futon Randukin. Bunta spat a Sway Tentempadama at Shikaku, who leapt backward dodging it. Fire off a few rounds at him, knock some sense into him, Gamma Bunta roared. Just do something. Alright Chief Toad, but you're going to have to hold him down for a few seconds, Naruto said as his mind raced through several jutsus that might work. Here we go kid, Bunta announced. He charged forward and leapt into the air. Setsudanki Raka, he roared as the giant toad came crashing down on top Shikaku, his Tonto pointed down, slicing deeply into the demon's side. The sand demon cried out in pain. Now's your chance Squirt, Gamma Bunta roared, as Shikaku squirmed underneath him. Guillotine drop. Naruto nodded and he leapt off Gamma Bunta's head onto Shikaku's head. He raced across the giant Tanuki's body toward Gaara who was in between the demon's eyes. Alright you crazy monster, it's time for Gaara to wake up and send you back, Naruto shouted as he made several hand signs and called out, Futon Randukin. The ball of compressed chakra struck a sand shield that has swirled into existence in front of Gaara protecting him from the attack. Naruto frowned as he landed feet from Gaara. Forcing more chakra into his legs, Naruto launched himself toward Gaara, who created two streams of sand that caught Naruto a foot from the redhead. That's enough, Naruto cried as he reared back and head-butted Gaara as hard as he could. Blood started trickling down both of their foreheads, a massive crater appeared behind Gaara. Slowly, Shikaku dissolved into sand and the two genin crashed into the treetops. Gamma Bunta groaned as he got to his feet and looked down at the two fighters. You're on your own for now Naruto, good luck, Gamma Bunta said before he dispelled into smoke. Thanks Toad Boss, Naruto said before looking over at Gaara. Look, we both know that we're out of chakra, so let's settle this. I have to stop you, I won't let you hurt any more of my precious people. I will not cease to exist, Gaara said. Both genin tensed then leapt into the sky, fists cocked to deliver the final blow. Smack! The two genin crashed through the canopy and onto the forest floor, Gaara landing on his back, Naruto on his stomach. Naruto looked over at the sand ninja, who was looking back at him. It's over Gaara, you are done. I know that you've been alone for a long time but so have I. We're not so different but you can change. How are you so strong? You don't fight to prove your existence, Gaara said. I fight to protect my precious people from anyone trying to hurt them, Naruto said, his eyes becoming silted. Even you, I will kill anyone who threatens them. Suddenly two figures landed next to Gaara. It was his teammates, they saw Gaara lying on his back and looking completely exhausted. I've never seen Gaara look like this, he's had it, Kankuro thought. He looked over at Naruto, who looked nearly as beat up. He reached for his equipment pouch but stopped when Sasuke appeared next to Naruto. That's enough Kankuro, Gaara whispered. It's time to go. The two Sand siblings looked at Gaara in shock, he had never spoken this softly to them, at least without the undercurrent of menace. Okay Gaara, Kankuro said, reaching down and helping Gaara to his feet and putting an arm around his shoulders. With a nod to Temari, the three Sand siblings leapt off into the forest, leaving Sasuke and Naruto behind. How's Sakura-chan? Naruto groaned as he struggled to his feet. Don't know, Sasuke scoffed. I left her where she was to come find you. What? Naruto cried. He spun around to see the sand claw crumbling rapidly around Sakura, her body leaning forward as the support vanished. Forcing his screaming muscles to move, Naruto stumbled toward Sakura. The sand finally gave way and the unconscious girl tumbled toward the forest floor, crying out in pain. Naruto launched himself toward the falling girl. Ugh! Naruto cried out in pain as his back slammed into the tree trunk and Sakura landed in his lap with a thump. What the hell, Sasuke? Why didn't you help her after Gaara was done? Sakura-chan could have been seriously hurt. So what, serves her right for not being strong enough, Sasuke scoffed. Naruto trembled in rage, but his aching body wouldn't move again. There you are, a voice called out above Team 7. It was Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, we need to get Sakura-chan to the hospital, she's barely breathing, Naruto cried, indicating the unconscious girl in his lap. Kakashi quickly created a Kage Bunshin and gently lifted Sakura up from Naruto. Thanks, sensei, Naruto smiled before passing out. Kakashi sighed before tossing Naruto over his shoulder before looking at Sasuke. What happened? He asked, but Sasuke just huffed and leapt off back toward the village. Kakashi sighed once again before leading his Kage Bunshin after Sasuke. Hopefully Naruto will be able to give me some answers when he wakes up, Kakashi thought. Thank you for your views, likes, subscriptions, and overall support of my ongoing efforts to bring great content to all of you. Check out my Patreon for more mature fanfiction. The link is in the description and like everywhere on my channel.